Warning, this podcast has some swears in it.
I'd rate it PG-13 at most, but let's just be on the safe side and say viewer discretion is advised.
So I was thinking about some Echoverse personas I wanted to run by you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So, hey, Johnny Mardu, and we've been joking about Justin Bant. Now we need, Nope, I got nothing. I'm lying. I got nothing.
You got nothing?
No, I wanted to be like, how could I tie bullshit? Like, Shitty Simic? Like, hey, it's me, Shitty Simic. Like, we already know. Unfortunately, no. The thought process hasn't gotten deeper, because unfortunately, Justin Bant really just like, takes the whole cake. Like, there's nothing further to be said.
Yeah, we did kind of 360 no-scope that one right at the gate.
Yeah. And God forbid
it's very funny.
God for
both of our... Good?
No. I'm like, we don't... If I lead it into it, it would just be miserable for everyone, including me.
Mm-hmm. Very funny that both of our Echoverse sonas are banned in some way. We got there independently.
You were like, I will go the blue route, and I will go the white route, and together with our powers combined, we will be the most heinous stacks player, permission player that you've ever met at a commander night, and no one will like us.
The fucking worst. Ugh, Echoverse EQ with their Bant Enchantress bullshit.
Oh, you're playing like
when she's not on Bant Super Friends.
Yeah, you're playing like Estrid or fucking whatever. Just like, stop.
Yeah,
please.
We have Estrid Enchantress, and then we have Titus Jaces.
Oh no, not Jace. Anything but Jace.
It's the most diametrically opposed to Kefka Chandras that I could think of.
Time to raise your blades, heroes.
And check some vibes.
It's the Heroes Blade Vibe Check.
So let's get into the swing of things.
Yeah.
Because, to prepare ourselves for the next episode, we should probably expedite ourselves to vibes-based storytelling, for the sake of ourselves and our audience, and also, we nearly got to 4 hours just between the two of us.
We're gonna do the late night talk show host thing. We're gonna tell the audience, all right, simmer down. We got a lot of show to get through.
Yep. So, like I stated last time, we're gonna have Kyle over from LCP over on here next episode. We will have to see what's going on. What's he gonna bring to the table? I'm wondering too. We're gonna find out together.
Should be a good time.
Yeah. Let's video game talk. What's good with you?
I picked up Final Fantasy VIII again after my lengthy hiatus from it due to story reasons, and the story is still storying, but there's great moments between Squall and Rinoa. Bro fucking saves her life from being adrift in the void of space, and then when they land in a spaceship that they, found during all of that, Rinoa just wants a fucking hug from Squall. She wants him to let me know that I'm alive, give me a hug real tight, and Squall's like, we're not out of the fucking fire yet. And I'm just like, bro, can you just fucking comfort her, please?
Can you be like a human being and reach out and physically interact with someone? Because as it turns out,
he's not locked in.
It's not that hard to do, Squall. God damn it.
It's so easy to just be a normal human to Rinoa, and he's working on it, but bro has a long way to go still. So yeah, I'm still shipping, and I'm shaking my fist at the sky and hollering, Artemisia, because she is just ruining everything.
As most Final Fantasy villains are wont to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hey, great. I know you're like, we finally picked it back up again, and I'm like, checks notes. I'm like, it hasn't even been more than like a calendar month. What are you talking about?
It feels like it's been fucking eternity. I don't know what to tell you.
True, yeah. What did my friend say recently? That like days, it's a variation of like days take forever, but a year goes by too quickly or something. And like, I don't know. Maybe
That's so real.
So I'm still playing through the Mega Man Star Force Legacy collection. I've officially started Star Force 3 after getting all of the completion icons in Star Force 2, which is the first time for me in any of these Battle Network and Star Force games. So like every time you meet certain conditions, you unlock an icon correlating to that. Some of it is literally just like beat the final boss of the game. Some of it is collect all of the battle chips or battle cards of your respective game, and so on. So let me tell you this. Let me give you the rundown on what's happened. So in this game, in Star Force 2, completing certain things unlocks a super boss in the post-game area. The post-game area where it's an alternate universe of Earth where everyone fucking died. And then that unlocks a super boss version of the final boss, which, by the way, that fucking super final boss is bullshit. I was like, what do you mean you have 4K hit points?
The super boss.
Why are you hitting me like a fucking freight train? Like, this is bullshit. And then getting all 6 of the icons of the game allows you to face the super boss version of the Edgelord OC Do Not Steal of the game. Roll credits. So you face the super boss, roll credits, you hit the fight with the Edgelord OC, then you die to Edgelord SX, which is the subtitle given to the super boss. And I'm like, welp, I am not going to go fight that super boss and hit unskippable credits just to go back to that fight again. So I'm instead going to not do that and I'm going to start playing Star Force 6.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I am now way more ahead of you in that game than you definitely like implied you were much further in. I'm like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
You're like, oh man, you're like, oh, the action's starting to pick up. And I'm like, no, it hasn't, Quinn. What kind of milquetoast escalation are you talking about here?
Meanwhile, they stopped yapping and started putting me in a dungeon.
Yeah. Anyway, some shit goes down in that game. Holy, you'll see it when it happens.
Maybe. I don't know. I keep trying to start that game, and then I'm like, I would rather be playing something else, and so I go play something else. I don't know how much I care about it.
What's that something else, Quinn?
Final Fantasy 3 and also Bloodborne.
Bloodborne, you say?
Yeah, so don't ask me how. I don't want to fucking talk about it. Just know we're playing Bloodborne finally, and we're gonna endeavor to see it through. For the tentacles, I mean, the promise of eldritch horror at the end of the game.
Have you been using a guide?
A little bit. I had one open, and then I was like locked in on playing the game and forgot to check the guide, and so that's where we are with that right now.
So,
but yeah,
I am a filthy casual, and I definitely use like maps and shit to be like, I'm not fucking around. Like, where the fuck am I going? What do I need to find in the area that's important, including the drip? We need to get some bloodborne drips. So tell me where the fucking drip is and no one gets hurt. And so, yeah, like these games, if you're trying to come into this game and try to get through it, you will need a guide and or a map on your multi-screen layout of ADHD fucking multitasking nonsense.
Yeah.
you will not survive Yarnum if you can't even get the fuck out of it.
So I take it the whole game doesn't take place in Yarnum.
There are more parts of London. I mean Yarnum. We'll find out.
I'm sighing deeply.
No, I thought it was only supposed to be in this place. Quinn, I don't know how to tell you this. That world is a Castlevania world.
This game might be too fucking big.
Anyway, let's go to vibe checks.
Yeah, sounds good. So hey, we got some brand new Magic the Gathering cards with the convention over the weekend.
Yeah,
And
sorry, not MC Vegas, excuse me.
Yeah, I give you Smog the Magnificent. He's a 2 red for a legendary creature dragon with flying and haste, and whenever he attacks, he deals damage equal to the number of treasures you control to any target. And at the beginning of your upkeep, you make a treasure token. Also, he's a 4/3. So just like on keywords alone, 4 power, flying, haste, bro, get his ass to the fucking armory, pick up a sword.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Get that, what is it? Gem cutter, whatever pirate that makes your treasures equipment.
Oh, Gem Cutter Buccaneer.
Yeah, there you go. Get that one in there.
Yeah. I think that makes them pretty expensive to equip to things that are not pirates, though, so I don't know if we'd bother with that when we can probably just, like, bludgeon brawl or whatever.
Fine, you could be boring about it. That's fine.
My fucking bad.
But yeah, hey,
what do you have
of
for
course
me?
they were going to be doing Smaug in the Hobbit set, but also I've already seen 2 diametrically opposed statements of what the fuck do you mean he can die to lightning bolt, and the other one is I love having hasty 4+ mana dragons in standard. And
Oh, god damn it. Bludgeon Brawl doesn't even fucking work. It's +X X is that artifact's mana value, and the mana value of treasures is 0, so I think we have to Gem Cutter Buccaneer.
what a shame.
Yeah, it fucking sucks. That's equip 3. I hate it here.
Oh my god, Quinn, we have the technology. I
I
promise
know.
you. So yeah, hey, passes the check, obviously, no brainer there.
Yeah, obvious.
We're while we had previews for Jace's Tipsy Tavi World, aka reality,
Topsy-turvy.
just whatever. Quinn, you know what? I need a shot of whiskey. Holy. Anyway,
I mean, if you want that, you can go get it.
no, it's fine.
Okay.
So let's talk about Universes Beyond Legends that were previewed, because they really didn't give us anything except Planeswalkers so far from why am I suddenly blanking? Reality? I fucking typed it earlier. We were talking about it on fucking stop. A fucking reality fracture. Jesus Christ. So I'm going to talk about The Vision. Yes, you Marvel superhero fans out there, I know you. I'm here for you. Let's talk about a 4-mana robot hero that's a 2/5 with flying and vigilance. And whenever you cast a non-creature spell, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. Solar Beam. What is this, Pokemon? The Vision gains double strike until end of turn. Density control. The Vision gains indestructible until end of turn. Or Technopathy. I don't even know how to make that sound smoother. Draw a card.
Oh, whatever.
Light is crying in the club. So close for Indominus. The Indominus, but so close so far. Whatever.
That dinosaur
Cry.
will never have
You
double
will
strike.
never,
I'm staking this into the fucking earth. I'm planting my flag here, and Dominus will never have double strike.
That being said, holy shit, the Vision loves picking up a Hero's Blade. A 5/7 with maybe double strike, flying vigilance, already he's got it all. It's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty spooky. What's your other one for today?
I have for you Bilbo, Thief in the Night. He's a 1 and a blue for a legendary creature halfling rogue, and spells you cast from anywhere other than your hand cost 1 less to cast. And whenever he attacks, you may cast an artifact, instant, or sorcery spell from your graveyard. If an instant or sorcery spell cast this way would be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. You're gonna be attacking. Oh, he's a 2/2. That's yeah. Anyway, he has an attack trigger, so you're gonna be attacking, and he's a 2/2, which means you need to put in a little bit of effort to make that a worthwhile attack. And the Hero's Blade goes quite a ways towards doing that. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of other equipment in the set because of the nature of the Lord of the Rings as a franchise, and
I mean, we already
he's
got.
going to pair pretty well with it.
We did already get a pretty good start with an equipment adventure preview.
Oh, we did?
Yeah,
I guess we can talk about that in the preview section.
So yeah, Speaking of The Hobbit, let's talk about Thorin Mountain King. Of hey, the Seven Dwarves players, this one's for you. Thrain are red for a 3/4 with trample, so we're already off to a good start. Whenever Thorin enters, attach any number of target equipment you control to target creature you control. When one or more equipment become attached to that creature this way, that creature deals damage equal to its power to up to one target creature. So it's time to turn our equipment and our creatures into removal, and that's pretty great.
Removal, bro? I'm fucking killing people. What?
That says target creature. You gotta clear the way before you fucking... Quinn, go to... You know what? It's time to go to bed. What are you talking about?
I did not fully read that card because Magic the Gathering players don't read, so jot that the fuck down.
Jot that down.
Secondly, Stuffy Doll, bitch.
Okay, alright, hey. Congrats, we've solved Stuffy Doll. Wow, woohoo, good job.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking pick up A-tier and pre-win from Final Fantasy. I'm gonna pick up Excalibur from the Assassin's Creed set. We're gonna put all of that on this guy, and we're just gonna fucking explode a guy.
Anyway, we used Thorn to clear the path for him to come in and then, like, bim bam bop people to death. Pick up an Embercleave, you're good to go. And a Hero's Blade, obviously.
Obviously. Get in there.
All right.
Bro, the trample right on the card, you're dead.
Yeah, you're dying.
Fucking toast, kiddo.
It's nothing personnel, kid. So, let's go into comments.
Yeah. Right off the bat, Indominus Lux commented, me and Quinn synchronized across to time and screens. Should have been a Megatrans. Ayo, Predator muscle bicep dab. Hell yeah.
The script that they use for the Legacy Collection, I don't think is the same as it was originally in the DS versions. However, I do think, so originally it was like pulse out in the first and second games, and now they're like, and now Omega's like, do you want to trans out? And I'm like, huh?
You sure fucking do, buddy.
So yeah, called it from across time and space and the internet. Cranky here to say, you get curious what the hell Moonchild is, and now YouTube thinks I only have Moonchild as a friend. But that's the thing, Cranky, you do.
You do have the power to be his friend.
The story is true.
Up next, Draco Lucian says, my package of Sun Titans is Sun Tits, quoting me. Damn it, Quinn, this fucking got me. Yeah, I've been saying that for a minute now. It's always funny.
Lobster here saying, today's lesson for me was that I should adapt how I build a deck depending on the implementation of said card pile. What is the agenda beyond functionality, and how do we determine, I'm assuming, what is functional per deck is how I'm assuming that's how that sentence is supposed to go. I may have misread.
No, they meant what they said. How do we determine what functional is per deck? Like, how are we defining functional for this deck?
Okay, sorry, I misunderstood. Also, as Cole says, much to think about. I don't say that. That is me. That
is actually me. I say that. I'm quoting the fucking Billy Ray Cyrus meme where he's like looking pensively and says much to think about on the
what a piece of shit
caption for his tweet or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I've been posting that like emoji for a minute as like a shorthand for much to think about. But yeah, that's me.
And speaking of misquoting,
completely fucked up. My bad, uncharismatic bard says, y'all misquoted me as Steven, but I'll take that as a win because Steven is awesome. Moonchild is just rent-free in the dome now. Fun episode.
Yep, Moonchild, pretty damn good. Questioning Feldergraf saying, the Hero's Blade Book Club. Yep, a little bit. We kind of went off on a major tangent there.
We sure did fucking get lost in the literature dimension for an hour. Speaking of, I'm still working my way through the second book in the Demon Cycle, so we'll maybe post about that later.
And I'll need to start reading what you sent me, so I'll get back to you on that too.
Sounds good. I did indeed hook you up with those books.
Mm-hmm. So Quinn, you know what time it is.
Yeah, it's time for a DJ Space Girl intermission.
Yeah, it's time for Project 121.
Yeah, I will never give these songs actual titles until the last second, so enjoy. Oh, what the fuck is up, Spacelings? DJ Space Girl back at it again with a brand new track for you. And this one aims to capture the feeling of naturally being a prowling creature of the night and the inherent horror of having to force that into the form of a normal human being to exist among 9-to-5ers, because morning people rule the world. This is inhuman. I'm not a human until I have to be.
I was like, I'm not sure what your genre of, like, what genre you've chosen, like, for your tracks, because sometimes I'm like, I don't know, witchcore, I don't know, you told me that one, I don't know, but now I'm like, I don't know, freaking dark synthwave kind of, but not really, like, it's like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, this one is pretty solidly Witch House.
Oh, okay, cool, good to know. Let's get into creative media.
Yeah, you were on fucking Am I the Bullcast talking about some fucking LGS demons who are just categorically the bullest, completely irredeemable.
Oh, it was, yeah, I do encourage people to go listen to that episode. That was a super fun one. I was like, Mike, you got to bring me in. And he's like, what do you got for me? I'm like, oh boy, what do I got for you? Yeah, good episode. That was fun. Thanks again.
Yeah, that was a good time.
I've caught up on the Strixhaven gauntlet of the spike feeders, and I'm sharing.
I also watched this.
I'm sharing the link to Aaron's breakdown of the 7 decks made for their Strixhaven games, and the only thing I can say is, and as he said, the shadow of the dragons really just kind of goes over the whole Commander landscape in the vacuum that is the Secrets of Strixhaven Legends. Like, they're just so damn good.
They are very strong Magic the Gathering cards, and fucking Prismari, if they get to do their thing, they win, and if they don't get to do their thing, they don't play Magic the Gathering.
And balance is all things should be.
Yep.
And speaking of Secrets of Strixhaven Legends, we got the Legend Review episode by the Legendary Creature Discord community is out. So you want to know what people's thoughts are on Legends, that's where you're going to find our reviews. I did a bit of a review on Curol, and yeah.
Yeah, and I did Augusta for that.
Good, nice. Yeah, you were first up on the docket, actually, which was
I sure was. I was not expecting to be first, although I don't know why I wasn't. She does start with the letter A.
Yeah, they're like, all right, first up is Empress Quinn. Oh shit, that's me.
Yep.
So these two are kind of hand in hand, and I don't know if we're gonna get into it for this episode, but so Cass Hines, Strixhaven Dropout, they got a video out and a written article over on Cascade. But Cascade, for the most part, has the paid articles are behind a paywall. So if anyone who doesn't know what Cascade is, and depending on your corner of the world of Magic, you may or may not know. So people got a website together to give fair pay to Magic writers. It seems mostly to be made out of the dissatisfaction of whatever the hell, like, Star City Games and all these other people are doing in terms of, like, not...
Yeah, there are a lot of different publications who have, like, shuttered a lot of their doors and stopped, like, putting out the written content and stopped paying for the written content. But there's absolutely still an audience for that, and for the people who still have that appetite, Cascade exists for you. So, go if you want to put some fucking money in some writers' pockets in exchange for very cool words. This is the place to do it, and I highly recommend that. They've got quite the team.
Yeah. Mike Rosa's already got an article out, which was very touching and very thought provoking. Cass, they have an article, talking about their feelings and, like, the range of emotions that they have when experiencing, like, repeat losses that kind of goes a little bit further onto why they feel like that, and, like, the pursuit of getting a win even in the game of Commander. And just how, from the sound of it, and maybe what I'm taking away from it is a lot different, it just sounds so destructive to, like, be in that mentality of, like, I gotta pursue the win, but then once you achieve the win, now the bar is, like, even higher, and it's like, wow, that is a level of perfectionism I don't think I could ever strive for, and that's why I'll never achieve anything in my life.
Yeah, this is why I strive for trick shots in the game of Magic the Gathering rather than W's.
Let's get those Commander what was that movie? I've
never seen a single movie.
Get your Commander bucket list together. because he will never achieve Commander Valhalla, so we gotta go for the next best thing.
Hell yeah, dude.
Tell
me about these Kristen articles.
Hold on. We're jumping ahead a sec because part of that's on me. So Kaz's video has been something, is a topic that comes up every once in a while of, and the title of their video is, am I lying in a game of Commander or am I playing to my outs? This is a topic that always seems to come up every once in a while. The worst case example, I think, is probably hearing about some like tournament CEDH thing that happened where people were like, well, they were like angle shooting and cheating and withholding information when there was like $4,000 on the line or something. And then of course it went into like the topics of like, what about like your integrity in a game of Commander, where like, what is lying, and like, are you lying, Commander, and will people trust you moving forward? And then there's a lot of depth to that conversation, and I think some more smarter people than I could probably point out like the psychology of what it means to be like lying in a game of Commander. I think there are times where people kind of leap to conclusions about exactly what lying is, because, what it's like, okay, well, if you can lie in real life, quote unquote, lie in real life, so like your friends and your loved ones and whatever, versus like lying to your friends in a game of Commander, and like, what do you get out of that? And like, what is the weight of that? And I'm just there like, what are we starting to like look at the person's history to why they're lying in a game of Commander? Like, I didn't go to school for this. What the fuck are you talking about? So yeah. My stance on some of the examples that Kaz gave, I'm like, we were just playing a game and they don't need to give like perfect information at all times. You're not playing telepathy on someone. But people put a lot of different stakes in Commander games, and sometimes it comes down to like, yeah, I guess it's like, I don't know, do you want to be known as a liar or not? And I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have any takes on that aren't just me being a bitch.
Oh, okay. Okay, good to know. We will not elaborate. Let's go on to those Kristen articles, huh?
Yeah, sounds good.
Chris has got some 4 articles here, at least the ones that I assembled. So Kristen was doing a cycle of what are the best 1-drops for each of a monocolor. So she's got ones here for black Commander decks. They're obviously not all. Sorry, maybe I misphrased it a bit. They're best 10 1-drops for black Commander decks, so not all of them are going to just be monocolor. Number 6 is a prime example. Dark Ritual is obviously in here, so if you feel like you got it, no problem. I do encourage you to go take a poke through, because she's always gives honorary shout-outs, and damn, there's some real freaking push shit on this list, and you kind of don't realize it until you're sitting down looking at it.
Yeah. Notably absent is my king, Knight of the Ebon Legion, though.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, no one's playing that, Quinn. No one except you.
Nobody but me is playing that.
Her other article is 5 commanders you want to clone and clone again, and if we know the Legendary Creature podcast, there are many conversations about cloning your commanders. You have a bunch of... So this article is for you sickos, I'm sure, if you haven't already explored the space. But anyway. In Commander, Erode is a ramp spell, so play it that way. Yeah, the new Erode spell from Secrets of Strixhaven is basically a destroy condition instead of an exile condition of Path to Exile. Aaron was saying over from the Spike Feeders that like he would love to erode his own creatures and very rarely wants to path it. So if you want to find a way to exploit Erode the same way that you would exploit Path to Exile to get yourself ahead in white/X colors, that's how you're going to do it.
Personally, I'm not super into that, but I'm glad it works for some people.
And then This was the one where it's come up a little bit more often in some of the games that we've been playing. Modern creature design is begging you to board wipe, and I unfortunately have to agree, because even I've like upticked the amount of board wipes. And you know what's really funny? This is a prime example of like our conversations with her, is that within the context of someone's like play group or gaming experience, it often influences the way that they build decks and their articles. And as we've been saying, damn, Kristen's been playing with some majorly irresponsible fucking gamers. So this is reflected here in her articles. And oh boy, just
she's right though. You do got a fucking wrath. Oh man, the other day I was playing a game where I was on the Jeskai Edge of Eternity's precon. I had just cast a board wipe, and then immediately the fucking turn after that, bro's got like 6 mythic rares on the battlefield. It's like I didn't even fucking wrath. So I ripped the second wrath, and somebody else at the table is like, again? And I'm like, brother, look upon their board state and tell me we don't need this.
It's true. Especially with games the way they can be right now, where even some people who had experienced a board wipe can immediately jump right back into a good position, usually sometimes from like 1 or 2 spells. And that requires some like I had a board wipe go off on the stream we were on. Oh wait, maybe we are talking about the same game. Because you and I were both over on Benji's stream, where we were taking pauses to properly assess.
That was a different game, but yeah.
And as a prime example of, man, I probably should have waited to cast a board wipe, and then Ryan like slingshotted himself ahead, and I was like, fuck. So
definitely needed to wait like just one more turn, but Magic the Gathering is a game of hidden information, so you had no fucking idea that you were going to need to wait one more turn.
So yeah. She offers a bunch of different potential board wipes as an example for whatever best suits your needs. There's a lot of different ones. Obviously, hey, big believer in Blasphemous Act. Brotherhood's End has been kind of one that I've been keeping tabs on and slowly accumulating a few more copies, including the Mystical Archive version, because it looks fucking sick. And sometimes you just need that like low curve one, and sometimes you need that high curve one, and sometimes you just need that one red to change the face of a game.
Yeah, I think having a couple of board wipes at different like points on the curve is pretty important. If you can get the low mana sweeper early and then late game play something fucking ruinous that's one-sided, then you're looking pretty good there. And Exile Wrath stonks are going way the fuck up. Recursion has gotten too fucking good.
It's true. Take it from me, a filthy reanimator player. You should probably get on that.
Holding you by your ankles and shaking you upside down. Cole, where's the Marshall's Anthem? I know it's in here.
And the answer is, it wasn't in my hand. Leave me the fuck alone. All right. What have you been looking at?
The Time Waster 9000 podcast, always a good time listening to their content. Checked out the Secrets of Strixhaven award show. It's not like a review thing, but they did give some fun like awards to the cards of the set in the like style of the Oscars or Academy Awards or whatever the fuck those things are. I don't pay attention. I've also been watching Guild Pack, and they had an episode on Commanders That Failed Us. The thumbnail features Miracle Lord of Bones, who is a fucking 7-mana commander, and if you're trying to ramp into that, you're doing it incorrectly, IMO. That guy's a control win condition.
Take it from someone who's been on the receiving end of said control condition by a Miracle player, then yeah.
Yeah. There was also Balthier and Fran, and they're a fine Magic the Gathering card. Homegirl just doesn't like vehicles.
And then Kaust Eyes of the Glade, which I remember being on the receiving end of that when we were playing with Fredo forever ago. He was just like rocking the precon, and I'm like, why is this precon kicking our ass like this? But, you know, people got their opinions on this stuff. It's a 2-mana... 3-colored legend. Like, come on, we don't have that many of those, you know.
Yeah, the card should be fine in some people's hands, but if you're not drift compatible with it, you're not drift compatible with it. And that's a thing to consider because, like, Balthier and Fran works for me. I've played Gruul vehicles under that commander and it was fine, but, like, it did not work at all for Belladina.
Interesting.
And then the last one is me Final Fantasy posting, and fuck you, it's my show, I talk about what I want. Fashion history of the Final Fantasy monk job.
Sick.
Like
How...
an hour of content exploring the job and the way that the aesthetic of it has changed over the years, and the links to the like real world inspirations that they're pulling from for that over like the course of history. It was a really cool watch, and she's done this sort of thing for a couple of different classes. So if the clothes in video games interests you and you like that sort of deep dive content, that's a good spot for it.
I don't suppose she's done anything on the Dark Knight yet?
I don't remember. I have not looked into that. I know she's done a look at summoners in Final Fantasy 16, I think. And I don't know if that was like a fashion video or just like a look at summoners in general. But yeah, she's into fashion history, and if you are also into fashion history or just into Final Fantasy, then this is where you can go for the deep dive content.
Cool. All right. I think... Well, okay. So that's actual creative media, and we'll go now talk about some early previews from Reality Fracture, The Hobbit, and Marvel Superheroes, which we've already have mentioned pretty much most of The Hobbit, except for some of the other early...
I saw that equipment that you mentioned earlier, My Precious, the 3-mana artifact for... the equipped creature has hexproof and can't be blocked and has equip 2 and pay 2 life. And it has an adventure, Allure of Power for 1 and a black, and as an additional cost to cast that spell, sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards. So it's just the, you know, that one spell where you sacrifice a guy and you draw 2 cards.
You know, one of the like hundreds that we got now, yes.
Yeah.
However, as someone who has recently put together Silver Quill, I would love to get a copy of this card. For that deck specifically.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I don't think you can have 2 of the, like, My Preciouses, but you can absolutely copy the adventure.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, I'm going to copy the adventure and get a bunch of cards, and I'll cast My Precious, slap that on my big fuck-off dragon, and hit you in the face with it.
Get in there with hexproof and no blockies.
So yeah, there's a chunk of preliminary art for Reality Fracture. We got a look at 2 different visions for Marvel Superheroes, and I heard that why am I suddenly blanking? Give me one sec. Paul Bettany was there to preview the cards, the actor who plays the live action vision, which I was shocked because I'm like, this man probably knows a fucking nothing about this game. How did they manage to do that? Like, but yeah, I guess he was there on stage doing previews for that, which was pretty cool to hear about. Was there much else already previewed for The Hobbit? A different bunch of versions of Bilbo that are being put into the set. Wood Elves, I thought was something like from a different set, but actually it's being reprinted in The Hobbit, which is pretty sweet. The Arkenstone is being printed. It's another adventure artifact that's the thing that they're looking for, the dwarves are looking for.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cute. The adventure finds a legendary creature card, and then the other side is Glorious Anthem, and also at the beginning of your end step, draw a card, which is like fine. I think that this is going to be an extremely mid card.
More for us.
Exactly. I love smoking mids.
The controversy, they're doing box toppers for the set, and
yeah, this is a spot for them to reprint the desired cards from the first trip to the Lord of the Rings, and so we've got a box topper, the One Ring, and then I think the Dark Lord Sauron is getting reprinted here as well.
Yep. There's some art controversy we won't be going into for the One Ring.
Yeah, I don't have any fucking takes on that. Don't at me.
Yeah, I got nothing to say about that either, except big fucking yikes. But the other printings that they're arranging for like kind of that old like worn paperback artwork.
Yeah, they've got the like book frame that they're doing for this set, kind of like how they did the Dungeons and Dragons module cover lands. They're doing a similar sort of treatment on some of these where they've got the like old covers of Lord of the Rings books that they're using for the card art here. I think that that's really cool every time that they've done it.
Yeah. So then the preliminary stuff that we're learning about reality fracture, we got a
None of this matters. We got a blue Chandra. That's all I care about.
Yeah. So it seems to be all right. Okay, hold on. So hold on, Quinn. I was waiting to do this, and I'm gonna see if it hits or not.
All right.
So, seems like Jace had a thinking man's blunt rotation with himself and made a whole ass universe where everything and everyone is different. Apparently, his goal was to make a theoretical world where people weren't hurt by the tragedies of the Eldrazi, the Phyrexians, and maybe possibly Bolas ? Where they And
surely an admirable goal. The way that this is manifesting is you made Chandra a cop, bro.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, fam. Quinn, out of 10, how would you rate Jace's fit?
I'm kind of biased because I think he's swaggerless.
The boy got no motion.
Yeah, he's
a giant fucking dweeb. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I think he looks kind of clean, but that's just me.
I think that that's allowed. Somebody who isn't poisoned against him should probably weigh in on that. It's not me. I'm not that person.
No. Benoit's already shared his opinion where he's like,
he fumbled 2 goth baddies. Unforgivable.
Okay. Whoa. Time out. You can't say he fumbled Liliana when Liliana is like uberly major toxic and he's basically was like a child. Like, not a good look on Liliana. Anyway.
I didn't read that story. I don't have to have a nuanced take on it. He fumbled 2 goth baddies.
Okay, I mean, you're wrong, but that's a whole other thing. He's basically flipping the script of the 5 schools of Strixhaven into ally color combos with some pretty interesting descriptions on the new classes, where of course everyone's like wondering what the fuck is going on here. So we got the Azorbius group. Fatehold. I love that fucking meme image of like School of Morbius. That fucking killed me. Okay, so Fatehold is the Azorius school. Theorix is the Demir one. Stinger Quill, what a fucking cool name, is the Rakdos one. Constrari is the Gruul one, which is the inverse of Prismari. And then Vigor Bloom, the Selesnya School of Invasive Healing. What the fuck does that mean? Okay.
It means that we will heal you, but you will be part plant when we are done.
Which, you know what? That's still...
We are replacing the blood in your veins with chlorophyll. This will be fine.
Still kind of sick with it, though. Ally colors are normally not the most exciting thing to me, so I've already thrown myself in with Stinger Quill.
Oh yeah, Rakdos easy.
But we're getting red, the Snapcaster Mage, which is kind of cool.
It doesn't have flash though.
Well, we take what we can. We're in red. We're desperate players. There is a 4-color non-green commander deck that was teased.
I feel like nobody knows these fucking 4-color names but me, but that one is Artifice.
Okay, what, you took that from Moxfield? Come on, Quinn.
No, from Scryfall, actually, so jot that the fuck down.
Okay. And I also heard that they announced a cycle of monocolor intro decks that are kind of what are they? A
Yeah, they've
foundation.
got Galta on the green one and Lathless on the red one, and because there's Lathless, that's all I care about.
Yeah.
I will be looking upon that.
So in terms of early previews, whatever, it's early previews, everyone always complains about it when they're like, no, they're showing too much too early. I'm like, they showed like 15 cards for 3 different sets, and we know jack and shit about the rest of it.
Yeah, I promise there's plenty of more for us to see later, babes. We'll be okay.
Everyone's immediately like, well, Reality Fracture is just Jace's bad fan fiction of Magic, and obviously we got nothing to disprove that yet, but I'm sure we will be getting more to either prove.
I'm hoping that the story makes me I don't know. I'm hoping that the story improves my negative opinions.
I have no major opinions except I'm interested to see the alternate universe / fanfiction counterparts of like a Johnny and Garrick, and obviously the white Liliana that was showing up. That was pretty interesting to see. She still got
She's looking fucking swagtastic in her white mana Nubenalian stained glass garb.
Hey, she still got that boob window going on. That's all anyone really cares about. Am I right? Anyway.
Listen, if you've got them, flaunt them. I understand.
And she's got them. Am I right? So anyway, so yeah, more to come from that. We will see what happens, but too early.
Hell yeah.
Too early to tell. Too early to like make any major assumptions otherwise. Let's get into the Smoke and Mids dimension, huh? I heard it's your turn this time.
Yeah, me and Lenny hopped in the booth. Let's head on over there.
Hell yeah. It's time to rev up your engines and get to max speed. Let's on over to the Smoking Mids dimension and check in with Lenny and Quinn as they talk about Aetherdrift.
Do this. So, Quinn, welcome back to the Smoking Mids dimension. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm hanging in there, living the dream. How about you?
Next question. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good now that it's past 5 o'clock and I'm not working and I can just settle in and talk about Magic the Gathering.
That's so real.
Yeah, I've been jonesing for it. So yeah, today we're doing a redemption arc.
Yeah.
Aetherdrift. A lot of people left this set in the dust, as it were. And so I thought we could meet up, we could talk about it because we're both appreciators of this, and we can show the bear mid-drift, as I call it.
Ooh. Love that. Expose some midriff. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So we each brought our lists. Let's get right in. Why don't you start us out? What did you bring to the party here?
I brought 3 cards from each color and then 3 multicolor cards, except for green. I only have 1 card for that because I don't read green cards. You know how it is.
Yeah. All right.
But to start off, let's take a look at Chandra Sparkhunter. Now, I know, mythic rare, planeswalker, already like, okay, you better fucking explain yourself. And the thing is, this Chandra is basically a Duretti, and she synergizes with vehicles, which we all know is a medium strategy. What Homegirl's doing is animating a vehicle and then providing some card advantage if you like sacrifice an artifact or discard a card. And then she prints out a vehicle. There's a -7 that has an emblem that you're not going to get to because your opponents can read. So we're not even worried about that. But I feel like people are just like, they're not killing you with hammers if you put a Chandra Sparkhunter on the stack. People are like, yeah, okay, that's a legal card in this format.
Yeah. I mean, usually people hate and despise planeswalkers, and I don't think any amount of midness is going to keep them off of that. Like sending those free attacks, but I don't know. She's kind of good. She seems like she kind of fits in in like a Duretti deck, anything that you're interested in sacrificing an artifact or discarding a card, like if you want to get like that into graveyard and you care about artifacts, and
Absolutely, yeah.
maybe on a good day you'll hit that emblem.
Yeah, I've been playing Mardu Greasefang with Chandra in the 99, and she's been a solid role player there, moving the cards back into the graveyard so that Greasefang can bring them back out for free for me.
All right. Yeah, I love that. That's the good pick. Very mid. You know what? You brought a Planeswalker. Why don't I bring a legendary creature?
All right.
Zahur Glory's Past. So,
Oh, hell yeah.
yeah, like, okay, first off, this is borderline mid in my opinion because it's a 3/2 for 2 mana, and that's pretty good already. I think the midness comes from the sacrifice another creature, surveil 1, activate only once each turn, but
Yes, the free sack outlet that's like hard limited by once per turn is definitely not the loud pack.
yeah, but I mean, I think that kind of keeps it up there. Like, you got this other thing going on with the start your engines, and like you don't even have to worry about that. This is a pretty passable card. You might just get there anyway, and then I don't know, like you could just spread it out over 4 turns, and you should be good to go. That's still a good amount of sacrificed creatures.
Yeah, I think that is indeed a good amount of sacrificed creature. The crucial thing here is it's not even like sorcery speed limited, so if you are an Ophiomancer gamer or the new one from Strixhaven that makes the pests, Pest Rescuer, you can sacrifice those guys on the end of somebody's turn, and then in the next upkeep you'll print out another guy that you can then feed into the machine. And if you've got your suite of Blood Artists or Bastion of Remembrances or whatever, then you're well on your way to each of your turns. That's right.
Yeah.
Start your engines is only on your turn. But yeah, you're moving the game in the correct direction regardless.
Yeah, you'll get there. And honestly, you don't have to get there with the zombies.
This is true, yeah.
All right. What else do you have next on our redemption tour?
Speaking of legendary creatures, I would like to look upon Farfortune End Boss, the End Boss of the End Riders. She's out here doing damage modification in a way that is not going to get you killed with hammers. If you put down a fucking city on fire or a I cannot remember a damage doubler enchantment, like Furnace of Wrath or whatever, like anything like that, you put those on the battlefield and people are like, absolutely not. You play a Torbrand? Absolutely fucking not. But you play a Farfortune and you have to work your way up to that max speed, and then you turn on the damage modification, and it's just a flat +1 instead of the like doubling or +2 like Torbrand. You're getting more damage per body, and it's still not going to scare the hoes, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, my instinct is to put lifelink on her, and that'll probably scare those. I really like that 1 damage to each opponent she's got going on when you attack as well.
Yeah, she like it guarantees that you're going to move the speed up if you have her on the battlefield and you're attacking. So I do like that she like feeds into herself in a way that is not like toxic like other cards that have the setup and payoff on the same card.
Right. Okay, this one has been itching my brain lately because I've been thinking about how she could fit into like a Rakdos Punisher, like those Mogus decks where they put the mana barbs, they put it deals damage, Like,
yeah, absolutely. Group Slug Queen.
Right, exactly, and she's group slugging right on the card.
Speaking of scaring the host, I did see a Farfortune poison list on the internet one time, and that was very funny.
Okay, I writing that down. Yeah, like you might see that from me in the near future because I've been thinking about I just want to give. Okay, real talk. I want to experience what I did one time where I put lifelink onto an Eidolon of the Great Revel. And that feels as good as you imagine it does.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
Yeah. I guess we can hop on to what I got next.
Yeah, what you got for me?
All right. I want to talk about creatures, I guess, because I like creatures.
Hmm.
Uh, you know what? We don't usually hit stuff from the commander set when we're talking like this, but this guy, Priest of the Crossing, I was just randomly playing the Aetherdrift Recon, and this 3/3 Zombird cleric comes up, and I start playing it, and I'm like, this guy's pretty good. So at the beginning of your end step, you put X 1/1 counters on each creature you control, where X is the number of creatures that died under your control this turn. Like, listen, you're in white. You can set this up perfectly fine. Um, Everything's out there to make sure your creatures die. It may not look like it. It might look like you need black, and you could do that too. But it's each end step, and it's the number of creatures that died. It's
I
so
think that
many
that's
counters.
so fucking bananas. Each end step and X is the number of creatures. Like any one of those could have been like your end step or like one creature or whatever. Any of those knobs could have been adjusted in a way that was like less, and the card would have still been extremely playable. But nah, she's doing it all.
Mm-hmm. And then you know what? Zombird, so she's in the air. So
Hmm.
she can take those counters and put them to work. Borderline mid, but I don't think I've seen anyone play this. So I'm calling
Yeah,
it.
it's
It's
getting
mid.
slept on for sure, Z's.
Alright. You got another one for me?
Yeah, I can bring up a white card this time. I want to talk about Valor's flagship. I'm back at it again with the fucking mythic rares that I think are just fine. Hey, y'all like Baneslayer Angel? I don't know if I would describe Baneslayer Angel as the loud pack though, but Flying First Strike Lifelink, very impressive set of keywords, and that's exactly what Valor's flagship is serving. And it's a 7/7. It's a crew 3 and it's got the cycling X and 2 and a white. So when you cycle it and you spend X mana on that, you're printing out tokens where the value is X. So you've got bodies if you need them, and you can put that in the graveyard to be reanimated if you're on your Greasefang bullshit, or any of the number of ways to return an artifact from the graveyard to the battlefield. Duretti and Co. will handle that for you. But sometimes you just need a fucking Baneslayer Angel, and I think Valor's flagship can be that for you.
Listen, you won't hear me arguing about flying first strike lifelink. It's just so great. And they'll be trying to block with their shitty flyers, and they'll be like, oh fuck, I'm just gonna take damage anyway. Like,
Mhm.
honestly, this is basically unblockable. Don't quote me on that though. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna run this into the red zone and see the results on that. So far, I think I've only cycled it and put it in the graveyard for bodies. Haven't quite gotten to declare an attack with Valor's flagship yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, I haven't even seen the alternate art on this either. Like, oof. Like I,
Yeah,
I
it's so
slept on
sick.
this one, and that art is making me like reconsider.
Definitely try that out.
Oh yeah. All right. Okay, I got this one, and this is the card that actually inspired me. I was almost not going to talk about it, but this inspired me to like say we should talk about Aetherdrift. Thunderhead Gunner. Now this is some draft chaff. We're looking at a 5 mana 4/5 Shark Pirate with Reach, but it's got this text that says discard a card, draw a card, activates only as a sorcery, and only once each turn. Now, I know it's super gated, but I just kind of like it because it staples to so many good things if you're like doing well, it's just card draw without an additional mana barrier behind it. And I'm into that. If you want
Yeah,
to get
this
your second
is.
draw.
I'm looking at this with Captain Howler, like, would like to know its location, and it makes sense given that it's a shark from the same set. They all did the discard thing and synergized with that. But yeah, I had not considered this for use previously. And you know what? 4/5 with reach passes the like limited test. Maybe that's good enough.
Yeah, I mean, like you don't even if you want to keep that ability, right? It's great to just sit there with to be reachy and just be like, yeah, you're like tiny flyers, your inklings. I'm gonna get them.
Yeah, swatting those fucking inklings out of there. That's what I like to hear.
Listen, I lost to an ink shield lately, and I feel ways about it.
Yeah, I absolutely got Cole with one of those when we were playing the Strixhaven precons recently, and just like, Ink Shield still got it.
Yep. Oh, that's right. It's back in the precons.
Yeah, you didn't think they were gonna make another trip to Silver Quill and not reprint Ink Shield, right? Like they had to.
Right. They've done me so dirty with this, because I thought we were done with Monstrous Rage, and then they just brought it back.
Oh yeah, it's 2023. I'm playing around Monstrous Rage and Limited and losing to bonus sheet cards. It's 2026. I'm playing around Monstrous Rage and Limited and losing to bonus sheet cards.
Cole, make that meme and put it with the episode, please. Alright, what's next?
Yeah, let's talk about a red card from me. I'm looking at Adrenaline Jockey. Now, this is serving a little bit of the same thing as like Grand Abolisher, but Grand Abolisher she is not, that's for sure. Whenever a player casts a spell, if it's not their turn, this creature deals 4 damage to them. You really just are making people think twice if they want to open their mouth on your turn, and sometimes that's enough, especially if you're doing the damage modification thing, or if you've got your Far Fortune, or if you're gluttonous and sinful and you have your city on fire, your damage triplers or whatever, then they're looking at like 8 or 12 damage if they want to cast a spell on your turn. And bro, how much is that Swords to Plowshares really worth? Are you willing to take 12 for that?
I love it. I love it. Beautiful. I mean, and once again, slap the lifelink. What about Curiosity?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Just make it as awful as we possibly can to just cast that spell. And it's a Minotaur. I gotta talk to my husband about that. He's got those horny boys, and they could use some more support.
Yeah, Sethron absolutely needs a talking stick, and this guy can be that for him.
Hell yeah. Alright, I'm gonna talk about green mana. I think it's time one of us buckled down on that.
Okay. I'm
going to talk about Aganosaur Rex. It's an 8/8 trample for 5, which already I'm kind of on board.
What the fuck are they putting in the water on Maragonda?
Bruh, it's parts of the moon, I think, is falling into the water, and that's why everything's so crazy.
That's actually, I think, true, yeah.
But what I love about this card is it's got cycling for 2 and a green, and when you cycle it, you put 2 counters on up to 1 creature or vehicle, and it gains trample and indestructible until end of turn. That's right, kids. This is a combat trick for your Reanimator deck.
Ooh, I had not considered it with that context, but you are correct. It's a large that puts itself in the graveyard to be recycled, or to be reanimated, and it has the additional value when you do that. Aganosaur Rex might have the juice.
Yeah, I'm currently rocking it in winter for exactly that reason.
Oh yeah, people are coming for Winter's Neck for sure, Z's.
Mm-hmm. Alright, we can't go through your whole... we can go through your whole list, but, how many more you want to do?
I want to talk about this kitty, or not kitty, what's the, corgi, that's the word, yeah.
Oh.
Hey, district mascot. It's so fucking funny to be brewing with your friends and put this in the deck very early on, and then later when they're looking for cuts, they think about cutting this because it's just a fucking 1 mana, 1/1 basically, that has some other text, but the thing that it does is it's got this activated ability where you remove 2 counters from it to destroy target artifact. And so when the homie goes to cut this card in their deck brew, you get to look them in the eye and say, bro, are you seriously going to cut removal? And then they have to play a corgi.
I need to correct you there real quick, Quinn. They get to play a corgi.
You're so right. They get to play a corgi.
I'm just like, Wizards needs to get on this art project, because so far we have 3 corgis, and that's not enough for a commander deck.
You're so right. They also need to get them in red mana because this is not playable in my Marty Pable deck, and that's where I play all my dogs.
Good call. Oh, you even have the Cyborg?
Great question. I don't remember if we put that in the deck, but I'm pretty sure we are because that one has some text on it as opposed to the other older dogs that are basically French vanilla.
Yeah. All right. I think let's just drop. What do you say? We do 2 more each.
It sounds good.
All right. Well, now I have to pick. You know what? I haven't talked about a car. I want to talk about a car that is near and dear to my heart, and that is Possession Engine.
Yes, I was so skeptical about putting this on my list because it's a mind control effect, but then I remembered that the creature can't attack, they can't block. It's literally just like, you are here to crew this 5/5, and I've stolen you from my opponent to do so.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. People play all those like passive ability cards, and you're like, I'm just gonna take this.
Yeah, if they've got their fucking Nyx Bloom Ancient or whatever, you don't need that guy to attack or block, actually. That can just sit on the battlefield, and you can snatch it with this, put it in the fucking car, and reap all of those rewards while beating their ass with a 5/5. It's perfect.
Right. And also, in general, for a PSA, since we're redeeming Aetherdrift, vehicles in general, like, are pretty good, actually. Check some out. They can do a lot for you. And if you got one of those pain-in-the-ass goad players, put a couple vehicles in your deck and just, like, crew them. Make them crew themselves.
This is a move from the Warhammer, tabletop game, actually. There's what's his name? Fucking Karn the Betrayer, who has to attack and isn't always on your side or whatever. And you can put him into, detrimental positions, and you still want to, reap his benefits without him dying. So the strat in there is the same as the strat in EDH. You put the guy in a fucking car.
That's amazing. I love that. All right. What else you got for me?
Time for me to talk about a blue card. I am gonna bring up Mu Yanling, Windrider. She enters the battlefield and makes a 3/2 colorless vehicle with crew 1, and it gives your vehicles flying, and whenever one or more creatures you control with flying deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. Now, I know you're looking at that and saying, Timna, is that you? And you are correct. That is the same templating. You're just drawing the next fucking flyer, though, is the thing. And I have a hard time feeling like people are going to try and ice her or ice you for playing Mu Yanling, and that's been my experience when I play her. She's just kind of a solid role player and doesn't draw too much aggro and keeps you in the game and playing the next card.
Yeah, I actually run this card, and she's so great. Just giving an entire class a thing flying. People probably should be a little bit more on you for playing that and not letting you getting away with giving all of your vehicles flying. But you know what? It's
you are probably correct.
Yeah, but honestly, just she does a lot and she fits in a lot of places, which I think is really cool. And she crews her own 3/2 vehicle, just like Chandra, and she's at 4 mana, just like Chandra.
Yeah, they're like two sides of the same coin, if you squint.
Right.
I also really like her in the birds deck. If you're on the Blue-White Tempest Hawks with Castrol the Windcrested or whatever, you don't have to be playing vehicles. You can just play flyers, and she'll still draw you the cards, and that'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And honestly, I think we're really approaching coastal piracy.deck, and she goes there too.
OMG, Cranky has basically Coastal Piracy deck with Basim Ibn Ishaq, and it's also on a bunch of rude cards like Fraying Omnipotence.
Oh my god, Cranky!
That's my fault. I encouraged that.
That's fine. You know what? I often would like to encourage Cranky to be worse, so thank you for doing the work that I never could.
It's so fun.
You know he's going to be listening to this, too.
Mm-hmm. All right, what you got for me in the last pick?
Oh boy, this is so difficult. I have so many things to choose from. You know what? It's Aetherdrift. Let's talk about another vehicle.
All right.
We got one that's on both of our lists. And so we should
Okay.
definitely talk about the Thopter Fabricator.
Yes, drawing your second card each turn is not a terribly difficult thing to do, and the reward in this case is a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. And you know what? That's fine. Solid
Yeah.
role player.
Yeah, it will block all kinds of things. Also, I think something that is kind of slept on about this is that it is also a 3-mana 4/4 flyer. So, like,
This
you could
is
just
true.
surprisingly beat people down with this.
Once you get up to like 4 power with things, and above that, you start like really chunking. That's like a tenth of your life in EDH, which is it doesn't take a whole lot of hits to reduce that to 0.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like at 4 power flying, that's like you kind of have like air superiority unless you're playing against somebody that's kind of dedicated a chunk of their deck to flying and dealing with it.
Mm.
Because I think a lot of people just have like the incidental flyers and none of them are that big and they don't want to get rid of them anyway. Nobody's blocking your 4/4 Thopter Fabricator with their Fairy Mastermind.
This is so true. That Fairy Mastermind is there to draw you cards until the last fucking turn of the game or whatever. And if that's the point where you're blocking with that, then fine, I'll take it.
Exactly. All right, why don't you close this out, Quinn?
I am once again going to talk about a Planeswalker. This is maybe a little sacrilege, but the Aetherspark, the fucking chase mythic of Aetherdrift, I think is fucking mid.
State your case.
The thing is, this activated ability, you would really rather not be paying the +1 to put it on a creature. So if you're in an equipment deck, then getting to cheat that will feel a lot more comfortable. The other modes, though, the -5 to draw 2 cards, the -10 to add 10 mana of any one color, none of this is offered by a thing that you can't already get in the game, which is exactly like the Aetherspark in the actual lore of Magic the Gathering. None of this is offered by things that you can't already get with Omen Paths or whatnot. It's just nice to have it all in one place, and that's kind of what this feels like. Additionally, if you are at the point where you can consistently put 5 loyalty counters on it or 10 loyalty counters on it, you're already winning the game.
I want everybody to listen to Quinn's words right now and sell your Aethersparks to bring the price down so I can get one. I agree, though. I agree. I don't think it's that good. It is very, like, it's unique. Like, there's nothing like this card, and I think that's a good chunk of the draw. And it's a colorless Planeswalker, and honestly, I feel like we get Planeswalker blindness, where it's like, oh, yeah, like, that has so much text and number on it. But
it does have a lot of text and number on it, but it is basically a fancy Phyrexian Arena that you had to overpay for, and you can't even do the Phyrexian Arena thing until like 2 turns down the road.
Yeah. I just kind of want this for Danitha, and I would probably struggle to find a spot for it, but I kind of want to be struggling to find a spot for it. But I just think it's cute because I could just, keep it as a Planeswalker, cast it from your graveyard if they're like, all right, I attack it. And then gain life with Danitha, and that sounds good enough to me.
Yeah, I think that would be a sweet role player in that deck, and Danitha can put the 5 or 10 loyalty counters on it with ease.
Oh yeah. But yeah, in general, I'm like, this is a really specific spot that I'd be putting this card. So yeah, I agree. Despite the hype and the $22 cost, it is mid. Do better, Aetherspark.
Oh, well,
All right.
That looks like that about wraps that up.
Yep.
Do you got any wisdom for the people, Lenny?
Yeah, actually I do because of my own personal life.
All right, well, lay it on me, my dear Lentron Star.
I had some really, really good wisdom that I was so excited to do. right off of our last recording with Charlotte, and I totally didn't write it down, and I forgot about it. So my wisdom is, when you need to write stuff down, or when you need to remember stuff, write it down. Um, for some things, I think the Notes app in your phone is fine. But I'm pretty sure they've proven, though, that if you actually write physically things down in a notebook, it can actually link to your muscle memory, and it helps you remember stuff better.
I
Not a
do
scientist.
unfortunately think that that's true, yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes, if it's something you really got to make sure you remember, I think you got to get a little notebook to just write stuff down. I've been playing this video game where I have to take notes, and we're writing a ton of them in my gratitude journal. So it looks like
Ooh.
a crazy person wrote in a gratitude journal, but it's helping. And I would have given you some different wisdom if I had taken the wisdom I'm giving you now.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Writing stuff down is goated when remembering things is the vibe.
All right. Thank you so much, Quinn. And you are free to go back to the regular podcast dimension.
Thanks. Later, gamers.
Lenny, as usual, with the incredibly practical advice. I am usually someone that actually hates trying to add notes or anything to my phone, despite the fact that, I'm terrible at keeping a schedule and should probably use every single calendar attached to my device. But I do love writing notes down. There's something about, the tactileness of it, where I'm yeah, this will lock it in a little bit more than just shoving it in a note on my phone and then closing my phone and then being oh, wait, I don't really use the Notes app.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's fucking right about that. Linking the physical muscle memory of writing the thing down with the memory in your brain is now it's stored in two places.
But also, hey, Aetherdrift, am I right?
Good set.
It's a pretty mid set, but it's a good set because it's full of mids, am I right?
I mean, there's also some loud pack in it, make no mistake.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking at you, stock up, baby girl.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. Quinn, let's go into Brews Off the Shelf.
Yeah.
Speaking of vehicles.
Speaking of Aetherdrift and vehicles, I was in the Smoking Mids dimension with Lenny, and that reminded me that vehicles are cool, so we wanted to give them another go. And so enter Mardu Greasefang.
You did it. You figured it out.
Yeah, basically. Hey, so we put Timna and Smasher in the command zone. They are good commanders for anything in the Mardu colors, but in particular, I have tried this before actually with I think Zergo Helm Smasher, because his 7 power for 5-ish mana is very good at crewing whatever the fuck you want, and he's indestructible, so you can do whatever the fuck you want as far as wraths and stuff, which synergize pretty well with vehicles because they aren't creatures unless you want them to be. Much like me, I'm not a human until I have to be. Vehicles aren't creatures until they have to be.
Very true, and that's why even I'm not that big of a fan of them. So what do you got going on here? What's the deal?
So in the construction of the deck here, I've got the who's who of vehicle commanders. We've got Aetherdrift Duretti, we've got Astor Bearer of Blades, we've got Greasefang, we've got Depala, we've got Sram, we've got Kaladin, we've got Chandra from Aetherdrift. Just fucking, if you've ever seen them at the head of a vehicles deck, they're probably in the 99 here. I even need to cut one of these cards from this deck and put what is her name, Far Fortune, in the deck from Aetherdrift as well, because she's the end boss of the End Riders, and they're from the plane of Gastal, and their whole deal is vehicles. She would be perfect in here thematically, if not mechanically. So we gotta figure that out. She's also just a fine damage modifier, and we'll take that.
Yep, anything to get like squeeze the extra value out of this whole strategy.
We also have the who's who of the vehicles, just like every banger vehicle in my MTGO collection, because this is where we built there and was the library of cards that we were pulling from for construction. We've got the fucking Parhelion 2, we've got Reaver Titan, we've got Demonic Junker, Salvation Engine, Weatherlight, Regalia, Unidentified Hovership, Smuggler's Copter, fucking Mech Titan Core.
Yeah, you're going all out.
Yeah. We've got like 20 something vehicles in this bitch, and just like all of the ones that if you've thought about it, it's probably in the deck here.
Jarvis, how many vehicles? 25? Okay, thanks, Jarvis.
I'm even on the fucking Fire Nation drill because I needed to eat my vegetables, but I also am committed to playing vehicles, and so that's a kill spell that we can do with that.
Why didn't you bling out Demonic Junker here? Come on.
Because that's not the version that we have on MTGO.
I understand. Okay, continue.
Yeah, this is 1-to-1 with the cards that we have on that platform. So not everything is as blingy as it could be, unfortunately. What else we got into this bitch? I got the fucking support cards. Hey, Alacrian Armory. It's a 4-mana artifact that, like, puts the keys in a car for you and gives all your creatures vigilance and +1 toughness. So we made sure to put that in there because the crewing of vehicles can be a bottleneck if you are as heavily into vehicles as this deck is, where I have like 16 total creatures, +2 for the commanders. But like, yeah, there's not like a lot in the ways of bodies, so you have to find ways to either hack that or work around it in ways that you can. And Chandra from Aetherdrift is doing that in terms of crewing them. Alacrian Armory does that. I'm also on these sorceries, Armed and Armored, Push the Limit, Start Your Engines, and Reckless Crew, all of which are like making bodies to put the keys in the ignition or putting the keys in the ignition themselves for me. Other support cards, we've got Tempered Steel as a sick force multiplier. I think I have 2 total copies of that in this deck because I'm on Salvation Engine, which does the Tempered Steel thing in addition to being a recursion card, and Tempered Steel proper herself because I just like that card from 60 card competitive Magic. I also wanted to play the sorcery from Murders at Karlov Manor, Push Pull, where the push half destroys target tapped creature and the pull half puts 2 target creature cards from a single graveyard onto the battlefield under your control and gives them haste and then sacrifices them at the beginning of the next end step. The whole reason that this deck is even in Mardu was because I wanted specifically to play this split card.
It's a pretty cool split card.
Yeah, all of the split cards from MKM are actually really cool. A lot of people are like fangirling about Flotsam and Jetsam, but this is the one that like really speaks to me, being in the colors that I like and having effects that I appreciate. Other support cards. We've got some like recursion or like tutor pieces in the form of Back on Track and Tune Up and One Last Job, all dragging vehicles back from the grave. And then From Father to Son will find a vehicle and put it into your hand, but it also has flashback, so you can cast it from the graveyard, and if you do that, you put it onto the battlefield instead. And this is only looking to see if you cast it from your graveyard. So if you've got like the red Snapcaster Mage and you use that to give this the like cheaper flashback ability, then you can cast it for the 2 and you're still going to get the vehicle onto the battlefield.
Oh yeah, that's sick. Awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of like the increasing vengeance and those cards from that old Innistrad set,
right?
Dark Ascension,
that,
I
like
think.
So like I'm also thinking of like Nibelheim of Flame, where it's like,
yeah, exactly. You don't have to spend the flashback cost to get the effect of casting it from the graveyard. It just needs to be cast from a graveyard, and I think that's a cool hoop for you to jump through if you would like to cheat on mana costs.
Hell yeah, I love close to free spells.
Oh, you can even cast actual factual flashback and give this spell flashback for the 1 and a white instead of the 7 mana that it normally has.
Oh man, flashback is gonna be so freaking cool.
Yeah, I think that card's neat. So yeah, that's a way that you can get the like Parhelion 2 onto the battlefield for very cheap. The card that says win the fucking game in the deck that I have is Krang Utrom Warlord. He's a 9 mana legendary artifact creature, Utrom Robot. He's a 9/9 with flying, trample, indestructible, and haste. And he gives your other artifact creatures flying, trample, indestructible, and haste. And man, fucking casting like armed and armored or whatever to put all the keys in the ignition of my cars and then slam Krang onto the battlefield. I'm just like, beep fucking beep, dude, I'm coming in. It feels pretty good. If I could just give them all lifelink, I think that would be the thing that really like closes the door on games.
Hey, let's look at Empress Quinn's mana base. Where the fuck is Vault of the Archangel?
I actually forgot about that. I think my mana base is just fixing. I don't have a whole lot in the way of utility lands besides Susur Secundi, Void Altar. And this one is basically only in here because I was like, oh right, this is a Greasefang deck. I need a sack outlet. And the thing that she does, in addition to like the other bullshit, is sacrifice things to things like Susur Secundi or any of the other number of effects to put the card back in your graveyard so that you can cheat the effect and not have to bounce it back to your hand. So, yeah. It's not the end of the world if you do have to put the card back in your hand, though, because I'm on cards like Smuggler's Copter or any of the other things.
You got some ways to put it
between zones.
Preemptively put it in, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Looking at some fucking vegetables, the card advantage is mostly Tymna, and then the cards that like air quotes draw cards. The Weatherlight is one of my favorite of these. You look at the top 4 for a historic permanent, or not even permanent, a historic card, and put that into your hand, and a significant portion of the deck meets that requirement, so she's a perfect card advantage engine for me. We've also got the Smuggler's Copter, like we talked about. But other than those two, like, you can hit the highlighter function here, and in the Scryfall search box, type OTAG dash card, or OTAG : card dash advantage.
Okay, so I'm not doing that.
Yeah, you don't have to. I'm going to. And it highlights 13 cards. So, like, the card advantage package is a little lighter than it has been in other decks that I've played, but things like Depala and SRAM and Astor, Bearer of Blades, they're all here.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, not to mention the ones that'll, like, Astor entering and looking at the top 7, Oswald Fiddlebender probably like tutoring up the appropriate mana value one that you're looking for.
Yeah, he's another thing that I can do with Greasefang, where if I want to cheat the cost on, or cheat the effects of her reanimation, I can sacrifice a card that she would be bouncing to my hand to his ability, and then go find an even bigger card, and I think that's a pretty cool gameplay loop. Chandra Spark Hunter's also in the, like, you can cheat Greasefang's effects with this and sacrifice an artifact, one of your cards, to draw a card. Alternatively, you can discard one of the cards that you've put back in your hand with Greasefang to get that back where it needs to be and turn that into, like, raw card advantage for you. We touched quite a few cards, so I don't feel like the card advantage package didn't work here. And Tymna, of course, is strong enough that, like, she can put the whole fucking team on her back.
Pretty good. Pretty neat.
In interaction, it is mostly on the cars, with a lot of them being capable of blowing a thing up or exiling the thing until the car leaves. There's also just like a couple of vehicles decks classics like Dispatch, and then I like the genre of 5 mana spell that either destroys or exiles target thing, but it costs 3 less to cast if the thing is tapped. And Ride's End is the one that we selected for this deck because it's from Aetherdrift.
You're just trying to make it approximately as flavorful as possible. You're like, hold on, no, check this shit out. Ride's End, and everyone just collectively groans like, oh, come on, I can't believe this.
There's like 5 of this effect now, so I could be on a full play set of 5 mana spells that blow up a thing for 2 mana, actually.
Quinn, don't do it. Don't. Oh, wait, hold on. No, actually, wait, you should do that because you got File Smasher. Freaking duh.
Yeah, Smasher would synergize very well with that. I think the deck where I'm playing the most of these is Y'shtola Knight's Blessed because of the, like, she wants to see the 3 mana value, but I don't want to spend more than 3. So we played all of those to have interaction that can make sure that things fucking go, but also trigger Catgirl Supreme. And then in terms of board wipes, I have Phyrexian Scriptures, which I would really like to be on Organic Extinction, but I simply did not have that on MTGO.
Well, also, isn't that like a pre-con like card?
Yeah, it's from the, I think, Neon Dynasty Cars pre-con.
Right, yeah, that sounds about right.
So it's fucking expensive on MTGO, probably. But this one does a pretty good imitation of that, and I think you just get this for buying the like Commander Stables bundle there.
Okay, so hold on. So it was in the Neon Dynasty Commander decks. It was in Murders of Call-Off Manor. It was on Edge of Eternities. And there's an MTGO promo, I guess. And it looks like they range from 1.22 ticks to 1.9. So if you really want to...
That's not completely out of reach, but it is over $1, which is expensive for a card on Magic the Gathering Online.
Right, but you are paying for JPEGs, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, but then that also means you have an Organic Extinction for your other MTGO decks.
It would mean that I have that for the other decks. You are correct. So maybe one day we will acquire that. But in the meantime, Phyrexian Scriptures does a pretty good approximation of it. I can put a +1/+1 counter on Greasefang and make her an artifact. And then Chapter 2 destroys all non-artifact creatures, which is going to be none of my cars or Greasefang if we've made her a robot. And then my opponents are probably not playing that many artifact creatures. Usually this is a one-sided wrath. And then Chapter 3 just like exiles all cards from opponents' graveyards is a cherry on top. You gotta have graveyard hate. The only problem with this is that it is a saga, and so if somebody doesn't want to see the wrath go off, then they can just interact with it while it's still on like Chapter 1. And I don't think I've seen that happen too often in the times that I've played this, but it is a possibility.
There's
and you
part
have
of
to work around
there's
that.
part of okay, like this is obviously maybe going into like how often do people really pay attention to certain cards? Like because when you're playing MTGO, you have access to everything, you can view everything, no issue, right? If you just hover your cursor over like the card, but like part of me is thinking, I'm like, is anyone really reading Phyrexian Scriptures? Like, I don't know, who knows.
I think if it's on the stack, they're looking at that and then they clock that it's a board wipe, and if they don't want to see that go off, then they interact with it when they can, and if they don't have the interaction, then sick, I get my wrath.
Don't be caught slipping.
Gameplay experience. This might be the most success that we've had with cars so far. This one felt very good. It's in colors that I like. I have commanders that I like. I get to play all of the cool cars. And I don't know, it just felt really good. We had a game against I think Momo, Black, the new guy, and then Magus Lucia Kane, and Magus Lucia Kane is out here fucking forking unreal numbers of hydras, and Black was doing a perverse amount of life gain, as you can see by the life totals in the screenshot that I've shared here. They have like 20 life where everybody else is in single digits. Literally doing the life gain is extra turns thing. If they did not have all of the life gain that they did, they would have been in the fucking dirt. But unfortunately, I didn't have the means to turn that off because we didn't plan ahead. That's on me. I'll hold that L. But anyway, I used the mysterious limousine to exile Magus Lucia Kane's commander, and they're like, "Bro, why me? I haven't done anything to you." And they fucking forked 2 Hydras and put like 40 power on board, and I'm just like, brother, it's not about what you have done, but what you will do. Those Hydras have to come at me at some point if you want to win the game, and I can't have you making even more Hydras. Spend more resources. They were just like a real whiner about taking any kind
some
of
gamers,
removal.
myself included, are a real bunch of whiny big babies, aren't we?
A real fucking piece of work that gamer was.
At least they weren't like the one where they were like, "You're a Universes Beyond player. Quick, get him!"
Oh my gosh.
You're just like, are you for real right now? Come on.
You be slop defeated. I'm like, brother,
Yeah.
please.
Like, shut up. Anyway.
I have that user blocked now, so I will never see them again. It's fine.
Okay, good. All right.
God, I cannot believe they really built a deck that's just full of targeted hand rip and like land destruction specifically to grief people who play Universes Beyond commanders.
Some people just got that illness in them, you know?
Truly unacceptable behavior. Anyway, back to this particular gameplay experience. We had a pretty commanding board state comparatively by the turn in the screenshot, and we were fighting through significant quantities of interaction. Fucking Momo has got their aerial extortionist and exiling 1 thing per turn, and the black vexing, or whatever his subtitle is, I don't know what his name is anymore. They're just like gaining life and undoing what we're doing, and also playing the Great Henge and other bullshit, and I'm just like doing what I can, blowing up the Great Henge, interacting with some other pieces. There's only so much we can do though.
Yeah. I'm looking at the screenshot. Is that a fucking dust animus?
Yes.
Wow, that's some swag right there. That's I kept looking at that card. I'm like, maybe, but someone's actually no, we ball with fucking dust animus. Thunder Juncture,
Yeah.
let's fucking go.
So we get to the very late game. The green mage hits the fucking pest infestation. They blow up all of my cars and then follow up with a bazooka bog. And I'm just like, all right, well, I don't need to be in this game anymore. So I concede because there's no coming back from that. The Momo had just recently cast an Avatar's Wrath, so they exiled a bunch of bullshit. I can't cast spells from not my hand. The other guys got like 4 times my life total. I'm in single digits and they're at 20 something. And we're just like, okay, yeah, this game is over. GG's. And so I concede at that point. I really needed to have turned off their life gain.
Yep. But you know what? Sometimes you slip up.
Yeah, you can't have literally everything. And sometimes you just have to accept that, like, the thing that you don't have the particularly targeted hate for is the thing that you lose the game to. And that's fine.
Sometimes you just gotta say, fuck it, we ball, and then you lose. And you're like, well, them's the breaks. That's how it works.
We balled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Strong aura, as it were.
No, play more removal. No, play more removal. And it's the bell curve, and it's the one at the top. You're like, fuck it, we ball.
Yeah. I am playing so much fucking removal is the thing. Almost every one of these cars does some sort of interaction.
Yeah, I know. Like, again, like the poster child of demonic junker, along with like Fire Nation Drill and all those other ones, where it's like, yeah,
I'm like demonic junker, Sky Sovereign
pull,
console flagship.
They have
I've got
to
the mysterious limo.
The double duty. You can't avoid it, because if you don't, then you're like, well, I still have 25 vehicles, but the rest of the 99 just ain't up to snuff. The next probable step, even then, if you're really just being extra clown shoes about it, is that like your creature base that are like good at somehow like piloting vehicles while also being removal, so you're not just like playing Witch Enchanter. But like, again, that it's just another
I've got
level.
Snapbacks. Like, their Snapdax is in here as a thing that I can mutate either under or on top of a vehicle as an aura to grant it double strike. Additionally, though, Snapdax, when it mutates, deals 4 damage to a thing. So, like, that's a removal spell that's pulling double duty here. The other thing that I could do is maybe swap one of these less impactful crew cards for somebody like the Fleshbag Shieldred.
Ooh, yeah, I guess you could. But, you know.
She kind of fucks up my curve being a 5-drop, and I really need the guys who are going to crew cars to come down a little earlier. But I don't know, dude. I need removal.
It's tough out there. You'll figure it out depending on how long you're going to be fiddling around with this design.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been pretty satisfactory to play. Looking forward to playing more games with that. Outside of the MTGO metagame, I want to see how it performs with, like, the homies.
Yeah, at least from, like, an overview, I am not, like, horrendously, like, cringing in horror from what I'm witnessing here. So, on that sense, hey, good job.
Thank you.
However, got my fucking eye on you. Yeah, no, cool stuff. Glad you have found an appreciation for vehicles, and that Greasefang was still the method of doing it.
Yeah, Stan Greasefang, truly one of the best vehicle commanders they've ever printed. What you got for me?
Okay, well, as we're pressed for time a little bit, but yeah, we are. I'll briefly skip over the Silver Quill deck that I had mentioned from last episode, and that, I got some reps in, and I made some swaps, and it's welcome to War Crime School. We did make some swaps, try to get more 2-for-1 spells, and then the non-creature suite. Get some other ones that maybe I felt were missing, or maybe I didn't notice the first time around. I managed to get my hands on more of the creatures that hell spells tacked onto them. A friend of mine from work gave me Scheming Silvertongue. I put in Hildebrand Manderville from Final Fantasy XIV that has
Sweet.
the adventure that makes a zombie token, but on the main card, creature tokens you control get +1/+1, and when he dies, you can cast it from your graveyard as an adventure until your last turn or your next turn. So there's, like, continuous, like, stuff that I can do with Hildebrand, which is pretty neat. And just grabbed a few more Strixhaven cards. Moment of Reckoning is kind of fucked up, and God forbid I copy that, because holy shit. Yeah, I made some swaps from last time, some upgrades and some side grades, and we were talking about Zet's Will last time, so I did put that in the deck.
Good, I'm glad to see it. I will complain, of course, when you exile my graveyard and make me sacrifice my bomb, but it's a good card for the deck.
It's a good card, yeah. And then I was like, wait a minute, I have a Buseiju who shelters all in my, like, mana base, like, in my lands. Like, why didn't I put that in there? So that's in the deck for that anti-counterspell tech for whatever reason. And speaking of
You're heavy on anti-counterspell tech, actually. You have that and Shamil. It's very funny.
Yeah, please do not interact with my spells. And then, of course, the Conqueror's Flail of do not interact with me on my turn. And then, of course, one card that I've been meaning to grab since Final Fantasy came out, and I finally was like, wait a minute, Midgar City of Mako. Speaking of sacrificing something to draw 2 cards.
Oh, yeah.
Reactor Raid being the adventure part of it. So felt good to add one more spell to the list. So you want to know what I've been up to in the war crimes that I'm doing at Commander Tables, get on, check that list out.
Oh shit, you got a Lotus Field in here? Nice.
Oh yeah. I don't think I necessarily have, like, all the right tech for it, because I can cast Savine's Wreck, like, later if I need to do that, but, like, I was kind of like having the mono white reanimator for lands tech in mind, but I don't have a Sun Titan in here, so I don't know. Fingers crossed / I'm keeping an eye on this card of being like, I don't know if it's going to be worth having a land there, but we'll find out. So the last time I was talking about decks that I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing with these things, and I should probably take some apart because of my mixed feelings and maybe make them move on to other decks. So FL Studio Zuko or
That
AKA,
was so fucking funny.
aka Fire Lord Zuko. Still kind of questionably on the chopping block, but I do want to talk about the changes that I made that have felt good, and he's keeping him around on the roster. Also because of the fact that he's a Mardu legend. So, I did add in more like kind of like Exile Matter / Red Impulse effects because Fire Lord Zuko is asking kind of two things from you, like how do I use this Firebending X mana, and like how do I get that +1 counter on all my stuff payoff. So Obzadot Gauss Council has been deployed a couple times since I slotted into the deck. Having
Oh,
a
yeah.
hasty 6/6 that's also growing like your other board state. And then disappearing, like always perpetual hasty 6/6 that also drains like an opponent. Senu Keen-Eyed felt like a no-brainer of like if I'm going to be attacking with Zuko, whether or not he's going to be blocked, but whatever, we'll see here. But coming back in from exile attacking just means the board gets the boost depending on whichever legendary creature is not being blocked at that given moment. Aranya, hey, Spider-Man has one good card, and for me, it's Aranya.
Spider-Man has more than one good card, but I do stand Aranya, great Magic the Gathering card.
Lelia, the Blade Reforged. Sometimes I don't like that you have to cast the spell this turn or play it that turn. But I also can't deny a progressively growing hasty attacker that also happens to like kind of synergize with the deck strategy. Dream Devourer, I'm still fucking blown away by the fact that you can just like during your turn, at any point during your turn, you can pay 2 mana to foretell a spell. So that's
you make a bunch of firebending mana, and then in the middle of combat, just shove
fucking
3 cards into exile.
Whoop! See you later. Endblaze Epiphany from the Lorwyn Eclipse, which is one that I initially didn't think about until I reread it, where I'm like, wait a minute, this is an instant speed red X spell that is also, hey, kill that thing, but also exile the top cards of your library and pick one. So it's a good way for you to like leverage your mana and killing something and getting card advantage. Suspend Aggression, good old new Secrets of Strixhaven spell. Exile target non-land permanent and the top card of your library. For each of those cards, the owner may play it until the end of their next turn. So I can get rid of someone's stuff, or I can get rid of my own thing for whatever reason, and then bring it back out. Shadow Urchin. This card actually kind of fucked the last time I was using it.
Yeah, this guy is pretty sweet, actually.
2 in a hybrid Rakdos for 3/4 oof. Whenever this creature attacks, blight 1. And whenever a creature you control with one of our counters on it dies, exile that many cards from the top of your library. Until your next turn, you may play those cards. So it can get pretty beefy depending on what you're throwing at people. And then, of course, the equipment additions. Embercleave for the combat trick. Obviously, why wasn't it there the first time? Don't at me. Vorpal Sword for the kill win con route. Note, my god, I still need triple black and whatever mana is being generated by Zuko and other firebenders. Because there was one time
I think you can do that.
I was like,
mana is fine. Your fixing is impeccable.
Yeah, but I was still sometimes I got it out. I'm like, okay, great, and I paid the double black, and then I'm like, at that moment, I'm like, I don't have any other black mana to do literally anything else. But my god, guess what happens though? Beep beep. And then I finally got to recently level up the alt art version of Kellen Planner Trailblazer. You know that version of Kellen no one knows or talks about?
I know and talk about him, and I'm the only other person.
So I think I was generating 4 or 5 mana off Zuko, and it was like, cool, I'll just immediately filter that into Kellen.
Hell yeah.
Which is pretty fucking awesome, where he becomes a 3/2 fairy human rogue and gains double strike, and then also when he beats people in the face, he exiles the top card of your library. And he had a Hero's Blade on him, so it was even sicker.
Perfect.
And yeah, I think I do just need to sit down and give this deck a few more good tries before I like pull the plug on it. The last few sets have been just really good, and some of the like Because I was thinking about, like, fuck, Firelord Azula, like, really is, like, the combat trick queen of fucking just doubling spells, and boy, don't we know how powerful that is.
Yeah.
And this one feels better with, like, the new activated ability triggers of, like putting Plarg, Dean of Chaos, to, like, activate the exile, like, the cast from 3 or less card effect. Terra Tawashi, bringing something back by, like, paying the black and then using Zuko's firebending mana to pay the 3, and so on and so on.
Oh, I hadn't considered that. That's good.
Yeah, so the tech here exists, and then obviously, like, Soul of Chandelar and Realm Scorcher Hellkite kind of be in Spike Shot Elder and blah blah blah. Goro Disciple of Ryusei is actually pretty fucked up here. So yeah, I don't know.
Yes.
There's fucked up tech. And I think I mentioned it the last time or a while ago, where I got the Duelist Flame finally, and was like, okay, now we can have the Duelist Flame battle off with Quinn. We just obviously have never done that since. And I did actually get to cast Blood for the Blood God, like, during combat, and people were like,
"Oh, sick, dude!
What?
Hell yeah!"
They were like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Yeah, get fucked. Was I able to do anything else after that? No, but I got to cast Blood for the Blood God. It was pretty sick.
God, that's an 11 mana value spell. That's ridiculous. Somebody put that under Surge to Victory for me.
You should be the one to do it. Oh,
I don't have a deck that's Rakdos and plays Surge to Victory.
Then get that on my desk in 2 weeks.
Perhaps.
Okay. It's been a while. Do you got vibe space storytelling time for us?
I do have vibe space storytelling for us.
Okay. Well, everyone, it's time to lock in, get comfy, get your popcorn or whatever, because wow, these six chapters, stories, holy fuck. It starts. Well, I got some thoughts on how it starts, but where it gets to is like, holy shit.
Indeed.
All right, if you're ready.
Let me use the bathroom first. This is 10 pages.
You know what? You're right. Sounds good. I'll get on that too.
All right, Cole's not back yet, which means it's time for a secret podcast for editor Cole. Playing Pokemon Coliseum. My team currently is Altaria, Macargo, Espeon, Feraligatr, Hitmontop, and Umbreon. And Shadow Pokemon are extremely unreliable, so I'm doing the thing where you purify them as soon as fucking possible, and then try not to use them if I don't have to. Shout out to Altaria, though. Fucking banger. Big fan of her work. And Macargo is putting in a lot more work than I expected with the power of Flamethrower. Shout out to same type attack bonus damage. Really just getting in there and ensuring that people fucking die. Espeon and Psybeam have also been carrying a lot of weight. Really like the duo of Espeon and Umbreon. I appreciate them quite a bit more because of their work in this game than I have previously. Umbreon is my tanky king, big fan, and then Espeon just like fucking special sweep and I'm done. Alright, that's it. The end of the secret podcast.
Time to lock the fuck in.
We really do gotta lock the fuck in. My clown ass wrote 10 pages of notes for the shit, so we have to get through 10 pages of
notes. Would it be vibe space storytelling if it wasn't?
Yeah, probably not. Alright, we ready?
Yeah, go for it.
So yeah, let's fucking get to it. It's vibe space storytelling with Empress Quinn, Secrets of Strixhaven edition. And as per usual, we only have so long that we can be here, and there's, checks notes, 6 of these bitches to get through, so we're not doing any of the side story stuff, and we're not even kind of touching Omens of Chaos. I ain't even read Omens of Chaos yet, alright? Main story only.
No pressure.
So, yeah, it's fine. So we start off in episode 1, penmanship practice. Our blorbos from the Lorwyn Eclipsed story are back, and we've successfully added our brand new blorbo Lewin to the group chat. Speaking of group chat, Abigail sets the blorbos up with scribing boards. They function like a group chat, except you have to handwrite your posts. She's very pleased with the setup, is very hyped for everybody to see how witty she can be when she's not having to go through an interpreter, and that's very cute. She's also very into formal letter writing and at fucking Silver Quill, of course she is.
Yeah, of course.
She wants everybody to follow the rules and start every letter off with an address and close it with your name. No one does this.
Nerd.
Well, they close the letters with their name, and I think Abigail's the only one who actually does the whole format the way that she's supposed to. So we get updates on what the blorbos are studying and the locations those studies have taken them to. Abigail is at the Forum of Amity, and it kind of fucking sucks being deaf there because everybody's talking all at once, and her hearing aid having to translate a lot of people talking all at once fucking sucks.
Yeah, not good for disabled characters.
Yeah, she's making do though. Our goblin boy Sanar is at the Spectacle Summit. He spends 26 pages describing that event, and we don't get any of that in the fucking story. But he's the reason that Tam steps in and is like, hey, can I get 1 to 2 pages per letter, please? I'm not trying to wake up with fucking homework. And you know what? Mood.
I haven't been in school in forever, and I totally feel that.
Mm-hmm. Kiral is at the Fields of Strife, and time and magic are weird there, and the shit is mad haunted. The experts recommend keeping something mundane on you so that you can ground yourself with it. You don't get swept up in the flow of time and space and all of that, and lose track of where you were and wander off somewhere. And they recommend checking that every hour or something like that if you're new. And I guess more experienced people know better than to go longer than an hour without checking their mundane object. So you just gotta have something to help you lock in and stay temporarily rooted. They get face to face with a spirit, and they try and communicate with the spirit, and immediately the spirit's trying to throw hands, and Kirill's just giving their best war cry back at it, and the spirit's like, all right, I don't want any of that smoke, and dissolves back into the currents. Lewin. Computer, put on I'm Not Okay, I Promise by My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, this part, I was like, damn, Lewin's fucking going through it.
He really is. The advisors kind of hit him with a racist microaggression. They tell him to go introduce himself to the other elves, citing that they had strong communal bonds. And I'm sure they meant well, but it's very much giving, well, you all are elves, right? You should get along fine. And brother, they are from completely different cultures. They ain't got shit in common but the pointy ears, and even the pointy ears are different. They can hear in frequencies that Lewin can't. And it's just you probably should not have done that, guys. I know you meant well, but it's, I know you, Cole, doesn't have any experience with this, but to my trans people in the audience, you know when people introduce you and another trans person, you both are trans, surely you've got plenty in common.
It's
and they're introducing you to some conservative bitch who works at a defense contractor, and you're just girl, we ain't got shit in common but the fact that we're not cis. No, we are not going to be friends. It's exactly like that.
Why are the trans girls fighting? Anyway. Yeah. It's... Wow, microaggressions in my Magic the Gathering story. Wow.
They really did him pretty dirty.
Yeah.
So Lewin decides he's going to sign up for the Witherbloom trip to Titan's Grave and see what's going on out there. Professor Delian Fell is in charge of that expedition, and he's a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, I know there were some complaints about, there were some people who were like, why did we not just put like another planeswalker here? And I'm sure there will be a payoff. And in the meantime, we got this fucking guy.
Yeah, we got this fucking guy. Abigail took a course under him once, and he had the class brew a tea and then drink that in front of the class. That sounds simple enough. What's the catch? Well, there's this like 2 plates of petals in front of you, along with the like rest of the materials for making tea. Some of these are baby's breath, and they're harmless, and the others are hemlock, and they are extremely not harmless. And so the students are like, well, what if we get it wrong? And Professor Fell is just like, well, then I'll give you the antidote, and you won't fuck that up again. So one of the students is brave and makes their tea and goes up to the front of the class and drinks that, and they don't instantly die. So everybody in the class is like, yeah, you did it. Fuck yeah. Professor Fell immediately smashes the bottle containing the antidote and is like, well, now it's life or death. Don't fuck up.
Wow. Yeah. Some real, you will ride or you will die. Go at it, kids. You're just like, I don't think that's how that quote is supposed to be used.
Yeah, not supposed to do it like that, my guy, but I don't know. Who's gonna tell him not to? Certainly not the fucking administration at the school, because otherwise he wouldn't be here. And
but also considering
methods.
Considering what the rest of the school is up to, this checks out.
Yeah, apparently this behavior is normal. Tam is at the Paradox Gardens, but she's gonna bail on that trip and go to Titan's Grave with Lewin instead. Mostly because Jatsy's gonna be there, and she would like the opportunity to speak with her, ask her a few questions, see what's up. She's coming from Chandelar, so she like pretty uniquely understands what Lewin is going through, and they're able to have some solidarity in that. She's also got an anecdote about Professor Fell being a fucking weirdo. She bumps into him in the middle of the night, and he's just like, Gorgon, that's uncommon, and then proceeds to ask her a bunch of invasive questions about petrification powers and what happens to the people who are petrified. And she answers them, and he's like, well, that's no use to me. Good night, and just walks off. Bro, what?
Yeah. It's just like... So, hey, can we resurrect people, like, if we break them apart and put them back together? And she's like, whatever. And he's like, all right, cool, sounds good. And you're like, what? Come back here. No, we're not done. We're not done.
But apparently you are. So Kiral meets up with Ajani. Ajani volunteers to be their advisor. And Kiral's like, hell yeah, dude, ready to throw hands with some spirits? And Ajani's like, bro, why do you think we're going to fight?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Kiral says, observing can only get you so far. Warriors understand the language of combat better than anything. And Ajani goes full unk on their ass, like, what the fuck do you know, young blood? Hits them with the kid, I've been through it, and explains that Planeswalker sparks ignite via trauma. So the fact that I'm a Planeswalker means definitionally I've been through it. He tells Kiral about how his brother died for being his brother, and he's winding up to tell him the full story, but they get interrupted by having to leave for the field trip before Johnny can really, get into the tale.
Yeah. Johnny's like, all right, I am now going to tell you my traumatic backstory.
My tragic backstory.
and then they're like, we're about to head out. And he's like, well, it's time to hit that old dusty trail.
Maybe next time. But all of the people who are reading this story, who have read all of that, get to just fucking sigh deeply and know exactly what Ajani's talking about. So we meet back up with Tam and Lewin. They make it to Titan's Grave. Tam makes Lewin seem normal to the rest of the students by comparison. So they keep coming up to Lewin like, OMG, you guys are friends? And Lewin kind of likes the attention, understands that it's conditional and that kind of sucks, but will take it when it's offered. We get there and Professor Fell knows Jadsy. She refers to him by his first name. Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of gift shops and shit, and Jadsy's like, all right, if you're gonna go buy souvenirs, you want to do that now at the beginning of your trip and make sure that you get that out of the way. You'll fucking appreciate that later. And the Professor Fell, of course, is trying to do everything by the book and is like, make
don't
sure
do-
you fucking sign off the slip and all that other shit. And she's like, Delian, let them chill. And so you can see that there's a level of familiarity.
Let the kids be kids. Jesse's like, yeah, come on, let the youth enjoy their youth. And Fell's like,
yeah,
no,
exactly. And Phil's like, absolutely not.
we will not be having this. We will not be having this whimsy on this field trip.
So our blorbos get to the camp. They're completely uninterested in the gift shops and tourist bullshit that everybody else is, which is convenient because Jadsy's at the camp doing the thing where she just fucking floats instead of sitting like a normal person. And they get to just chat for a few hours, which fucking rules for Tam, who wanted to ask Jadsy some questions in the first place. We move later on into the story. Professor Fell instructs the class to go find something new, something that represented a step forward. And our dear Lulu doesn't find shit until late in the day when he comes across what we will come to know later in the story as Lumerets. There's a little guy who's like fucking reading a map, and we follow him a little bit, and he's meeting up with his friends. And we have evidence that Lumerets have society and culture, and they have magic. And there's nothing about that in the guidebooks, so there's something new for Lewin to report. He goes back to Professor Fell, and Professor Fell's like, that's bullshit. There's nothing there. They're not in the guidebooks because they're not worth study. They don't have any fucking magic. Stop that shit.
Yeah, Professor Fell, eat my ass. What are you talking about?
Fell's being a real dick. We cut back to Kirall, who runs into another spirit on their field trip. The spirit fully fucking squares up, and Kirall, despite all of their big talk, they fucking freeze. Johnny doesn't, though. Bro springs into action, slashes the spirit in half with this big axe, and then there's this, like, darkness that comes over him, the shame, like, he's sorry Kirall had to see that. Blorbos are kind of having a little bit of a rough time.
Yeah, I was glad to read that, like, Kirill's intuitive enough to, like, see that, like, in a Johnny of, like, a Johnny is bringing the trauma bomb to, like, this entire trip. Like, I also loved how the narrator kind of gave everyone, like, their tone of voice, and part of me is like, damn, is it Johnny really, like, that old? But, like, if not old, just whole world weary and everything. And he's like,
Johnny has been through it.
I don't want to fight, but I gotta protect this kiddo here. Oh man, that sucks. Jeez.
So we move on to episode 2, Travels and Travails. And here's where I, in my notes, say, Lamau, we spent entirely too long on chapter 1. We got to pick up the pace a bit, or we'll be even longer than we already planned to be here.
They set the tone with episode 1. You know, they were kind of setting all the.
There's a lot of like character work and all of that we do just like have to cover, and all of that took up a bunch of time and stuff. The like battle scenes that happen in later chapters are very easy to just like shortcut to this is a battle scene. But when they're doing the character work, you gotta fucking sit there and do the character work with them. So
especially with some characters.
Yeah.
Like some things that will happen that we will talk about in a second here. But anyway.
So yeah, we get the Always Sunny title card meme that says, Lulu fucks up.
Oh no.
Professor Fell asks the class what they hear, and none of the answers are satisfactory, and he's a real bitch telling the students that. And so Lewin's like, I don't want to give the wrong answer, especially after yesterday's humiliation, which, like, fucking relatable. If Fell did that to me, I would turn to ash on the spot. So he's like, let me wander a little bit, let me get away from the noise and stuff of the classmates, see if I can hear better and see if something comes up. One of the elves starts talking shit and making goat jokes Lulin's horns, and Lulu gives him a chance to take it back, asking if he wanted to repeat that, and bro, instead of taking it back, doubles down, saying, I asked if you wanted to graze, Ram Clan, and Lulu's just like, well, tried being nice.
Well, you asked for it.
Fucking headbutts him to throw him off balance and then presses the attack, fucking cutting his chest with a knife. And instead of recognizing Lewin's strength, the elves and the rest of the students immediately like, Professor Fell! They fucking snitch.
Well,
And
we're getting minorly attacked by this person that we've definitely been aggressing this entire time, and they're oh
yeah,
no.
they have been fucking tormenting Lewin for weeks, and the moment Lewin snaps, he's the only one who gets punished here, and that fucking sucks.
Very
So Professor
familiar,
Fell
very
uses
familiar
his
feeling.
yeah uses his plant powers to pin Lewin to a tree and like break up the situation, and then is like, you need to go find something else to do and do it now or don't come back. Get your shit under control. So Lewin wanders even further off, and in this, he hears what Professor Fell is probably looking for from the students, that the Titan's bones that they're walking on are hollow, they don't have any more marrow in them, rushes back to relay this information and fucking cracks the bones, falling in. And here's where we get another It's Always Sunny title card. Lewin sees something he probably shouldn't have. Continuing his listening assignment, he hears voices in a language he doesn't understand.
Well,
they're doing
more specifically, Lulu comes back to consciousness and is like, well, it's time for me to keep using my senses to try to figure out where I am and what's going on.
So yeah, he hears those voices, and they're doing a weird, like, weaving thing, forming a tapestry of sound, and it's like, bro, that's gotta be magical, and guess what? It is. Lewin stumbles on 6 archaics in a circle, chanting and weaving and moving magic around in a way that's like, bro, they are weaving a snarl. Or unweaving a snarl. They're doing some magic around that, and all of that is of note because hey, there aren't supposed to be snarls here, I think. There haven't been, at least reportedly. So Lewin obviously like tries to sketch a picture of what they're up to, and it's like immediately after the pencil hits the paper, record scratch, music stops, and all 6 archaics turn to look directly at them with their eyeless faces. And Lewin's like, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
Oh shit.
So bro hits the fucking bricks, hauls himself out of the bones of the Titan. He's like, we gotta get out of here. And he's imagining that Kiral is like pushing him on. And then when he gets to the top of that, somebody helps haul him out. And he's like, whew, thanks, buddy. Oh fuck, that's Professor Fell. And they're like, I'm not your buddy.
I'm not your buddy, guy. I'm not your guy, friend.
And immediately hits him with the very cold, I hope you have something to impress me. Lewin freezes, doesn't say shit about what he saw down there. You know what? Fair enough, my guy. So we get back to camp. Tam thinks that he should have said something about that to Professor Fell, but absolutely understands why he didn't, because she's been similarly paralyzed by reviews with Professor Vess, Liliana, and we, in this conversation, check the like scribing board, and Abigail is sending a message to the group chat about how she also had a rough day. She meant to sign please one person talk at a time, and that sign gets misinterpreted by the Kamigawans because it's a similar movement to a rude gesture in their culture, and so they had to spend all fucking day sorting that out.
What a bummer. Jeez.
Yeah. Just really having a shitty day. Tam tells us that oracles and archaics are kind of like water and ice and vapor, where one of those can become the other with the addition or removal of energy, and oracles can become archaics with the addition of enough time. Tam tells Lewin to go talk to Jadzi about what they saw, and like, if anybody's gonna understand, it'll be her. So tea time. Lewin goes to meet Jadzi early in the morning because she likes to take her tea at this specific tea shop. He recognized the logo on one of the mugs that she drinks out of, so like he knew where to go find her there. And she's doing that early before the student rush and all of that. And so he gets there, and oh fuck, Professor Fell is already here, and he's talking to Jadzi, and it's a little bit heated. And Jadzi fucking flambés Fell's ass, saying he's using students for his little scheme. And Professor Fell takes offense at that. There's this whole paragraph here. What could possibly be more important to me than this? You ask me to cast aside the very blood that runs through my veins. You ask me to forsake the seraphic great brightness I reach for every moment of my accursed life? No, I swore an oath of devotion, Jadzi, a sacred bond that transcends life and death. Call it selfish, if that's what you think of it, but never name it a scheme.
Bro, what the fuck are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Man, this guy is weird.
It's very much giving black mana cleric that aspires to become an angel. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, Professor Fell, what are you up to?
Yeah, hey, what's up with that? Anyway.
So Fell and Jadzi discuss the archaics being fucking weird as of late. And Lewin, hearing all of this, remains fucking frozen to the spot. Bro is once again hearing something he probably shouldn't be. And it's like, I should not be here, but I am too scared to leave.
Typical, like, this is, okay, one of the things about Lewin that's been really killing me, like, is, like, one, there is the, I am absolutely mortified by Professor Fell, but I also want his validation, and also, wow, this is a really difficult place to navigate because of the different cultural differences, and also, oh shit, I should not be here. Listen, like, I should not be here, and I should probably fucking move. But also, I am too stunned, and like, just the deer in the headlights moment of like, fuck, how do I get out of this?
Yeah, Lewin is really fucking going through it. He's having a rough time of all of this. So yeah, Jadzi and Fell mentioned that neither of them has been able to contact Professor Vest to talk about this. And so I'm like, Lily, baby girl, where you at? What happened at the end of ECL with you and your white mana counterpart? Why are you beyond the means of traditional magical communication? Where you at, girl?
Yeah, that was like, hey, wait a minute. Just because you showed up in the last store, you showed up at Dragonstorm, and Lorwyn Eclipse, like, where you at? Call me back.
Yeah. So back at the tent, and here I'm like, tent? I thought they were staying in group cabins. Well, they were. They have a tent because Professor Fell was like, you should probably not be sharing space with the rest of these guys after Lewin rightfully threw hands. And Tam moved in because she didn't want Lewin to have to be alone in that. There's plenty of room in the tent. They can set up their travel lecterns and their bedrolls. And here's this quote that Tam had even set up what she assured him was a traditional Chandelar wash basin. And I'm just like, why'd you say it like that?
Tam, hey, another little innocuous moment that we'll come back to later.
Yeah. And any time that there's like bowls in Magic the Gathering, especially after the war with the Phyrexians, I have to look at those with great levels of suspicion because look at what we have for examples of bowls in Magic lore.
Quinn,
Golgothian Silex, Karn Silex, the Filigree Silex, Urza Silex.
Get away from your fucking crazy red string board. There is nothing there.
You just have to approach that with a certain level of suspicion.
No, you don't, because it's a bowl, Quinn. You eat out of a bowl.
It's entirely possible that it's a bowl, but what else do we use bowls for in Magic? They are weapons of mass fucking destruction, my guy.
Well, I don't use them for that, but anyway.
And so I'm a little bit sus.
All right. Okay, Pepe Sylvia.
Tam appears to be getting interrupted mid-conversation with somebody called Teacher when Lewin gets back, and she wishes he'd come back just a little bit later, which is like, girl, what are you up to?
Very, very, very sus.
Because if that was you just calling your parents, then it wouldn't have been a problem for you to get interrupted. It would have been just like, oh, yeah, I'm just calling my mom. No big deal.
Hey, Tam, what are you doing over there? I am talking with my parents, that everyone has, those parents. Yeah? Okay, sure.
So yeah, Lewin reports that he wasn't able to ask Jadzi what was up because Fel was there and it made it fucking weird. And he starts calling himself a coward, and Tam just like fucking sweeps him up in a reassuring hug. And then there's this quote here. He leaned his head against her shoulder. Lewin smelled of moss and bark. She'd always liked it. Thank you, he whispered. And I'm shipping.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, Tam asks Lewin about him not riding home, and before he can answer, the fucking earthquakes. We run outside to see what the fuck is going on, and there's a big-ass archaic fucking everything up. The archaics are already, like, big. This one is colossal. This is big even for an archaic. Like, it's got an arch of stars around it. Like, it's that big. And it runs off with Jadzi.
Hey, King Kong! Hey, wait, whoa, hey, come back here.
Yeah, it's very much giving that. And so the blorbos write on their scribing sheets, code Una, which is the code word that they use when shit is unbelievably fucked and we need all of them in one spot. Mm-hmm. And they fire that shit off expeditiously after the archaic kidnaps Jadzi. Kiral is the first to respond, and they get interrupted by Ajani in their preparations to leave. They just fucking spill. They tell Ajani exactly what's going on, and when Ajani's like, okay, cool, we can go help them, but let me go tell the other faculty what's up first. Kiral's like, sure thing, boss, thumbs up, and the second Ajani's back is turned, they just fucking dip. I'm rolling my eyes, but because Ajani's right there. He's actively trying to help. It's not going to take that long.
And of course, anyway, we'll talk about that. We'll see what Ajani has to say about this later.
Yeah.
But it's just like, okay, also, we have established that he is a planeswalker, and you decide to just pick yourself up, get on a horse, and be like, ha 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 ha.
I'm a genius.
I'm a genius. That was the one thing where I'm like, okay, all right, Kiral.
Kiral, sweetie.
Kiral,
you're such a sweetheart. You mean well,
you're
but you are
fucking
just a
himbo.
Fucking dumbass.
Like, you're probably smarter than normal, but you're a fucking himbo. You absolute dumbass. Anyway.
Listen, I know some brilliant dumbasses, and Kiral is very much a brilliant dumbass in this moment.
Anyway, okay, so, episode 3.
Yeah, we get into episode 3 asunder. Caps lock, fuck, we did it again. Spending too much time on all of that, but it's fine. Character work. So anyway, Kiral and Abigail and Sanar meet up at the Titan's grave, and they're looking for Lewin. Kiral, being the fucking cinnamon roll that they are, got everybody matching commemorative Titan's grave shirts.
Oh my god.
It's very much giving the parent who puts the family in matching souvenir t-shirts for the field trip so that everybody's easily recognizable.
If missing, please direct to dumbass. Kiral is wearing the shirt that says, I'm the dumbass.
The locals are being extremely fucking weird in this panic. They're flinging jugs at everyone. Everybody's in a panic. They're not handling it well. Kiral is very good at sports, though, so when somebody yeets a jug at him, or at them, they can dodge that and catch the jug, and then they, take a sip from it, and I'm just like...
weird flex, but okay.
So anyway, Kiral's talking to the rest of them about the plan, and they're just like, okay, so we're going to find Lewin, and listen, if Professor Fel has Jadzi, then we're just going to find him, and we're going to beat him up, they say, putting on their fucking clown makeup. They finish saying that, and they feel a big paw settle on their shoulder. Oh, fuck. Ajani caught up.
Surprise.
Yeah, Kiral looks like a wet cat about it, but it's fine. Ajani's only here to help. So they press on. They're looking for Lewin. They find Dina along the way. She's doing her best trying to calm the students. It's not going well. Somebody fucking throws a commemorative cup at her, and she just picks it up, sniffs the contents, pours it into her cauldron.
Yeah, it continues on. I'm like, oh wait, right, Dina's also fucking weird.
Listen, everybody's fucking weird. Kiral gets caught on some fucking brambles, and they're concerned about tearing their shirt, and Najani's roasting them. Don't you have a spare? I thought you had a better head for this. And Kiral's just like, I do have a spare, but I wanted to give it to Lewin so we'd all fit in together and he'd feel less alone. And at that moment, I'm just, Kiral, you're a fucking sweetie. I love you.
Big muscle-bound vampire, they, them, him, thembo, I guess?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They've got a heart of gold. They get so caught up in freeing Kiral and also roasting Kiral that they don't hear that they're getting ambushed.
By who?
By Chandra and the Kintsugi gang, or actually the Shattered. I call them that because they wear these old school Auric masks, but they've been broken and remade with the gold in the cracks like that Kintsugi
We
pottery.
do love doing that imagery. That's pretty fucking awesome.
It's pretty fucking sweet. She's leading a group of students. They call themselves the Shatter, and they're former members of the Auric who fucking bailed on that group when it turns out their leader/plan was actually fucking bananas. They didn't want to hurt anyone. They just wanted to learn techniques that were frowned upon, and all of these guys are pyromancers, which is why Chandra took a liking to them. She found them when she was out looking for Jace, and she asks the Shattered while they're doing all of the interrogation.
And what do we always say?
What is shattered can be reforged.
Wow, that's a cool quote. Very
that is pretty fucking cool.
Very what's the word? Influential, inspiring. There we go.
The thing is, when they come to though, Johnny's got his hands tied. So what's going on here? If you're friends, why are you acting like this? Good news, though, Lewin and Tam are here. The blorbos are reunited. But yeah, Chandra doesn't trust Ajani to not stop her, so he's all tied up. And I'm like, stop her? Girl, what are you up to? And Chandra's like, Jace is alive. He did something to my head, and it's been all fucked up ever since, and I'm going to get his ass. And Ajani's like, Jace is as dead as Gideon. I saw him get unmade in the meditation realm on Tarkir.
Crying in the club. Also,
yeah,
Johnny, why
maybe
did you say that, dude?
did not need to say that like that, my guy. I would have delivered that message a little differently, but whatever it takes to make it land, I guess. Chandra, a red mage, immediately fucking flares up like, I knew it. I knew you wouldn't believe me. I knew you'd try to stop me. The second that Chandra suggests that Jace's big plan involves like archaics, the big archaic shows up.
What a coincidence.
What a fucking coincidence. Chandra just starts charging her lasers. It's on fucking sight. She's gonna blast the archaic, and Ajani tackles her before she can get any shots off. Oh shit, the archaic has Jadzi in its hand. That's where she is. Despite that, Chandra is still hell-bent on lasering the archaic. Ajani continues fighting to keep her busy, but it's not enough. She gets a big fireball off, and the archaic, in pain, does a big smash.
So, I'm gonna take this moment to be like, I know that in terms of character beats, in that Chandra's pretty damn one note, because she's always like, but what if I do a giant application of force via fireball? And it's like, honey, that's the trauma.
It is.
God damn it.
Jadzi fucking roasts her about that later. We'll get to it. So we're in chapter 4, something to offer. The party wakes up in Titan's grave. Abigail flies up to scout out the situation, and the Shattered get to work on excavating the surroundings. They're all very handy. They built a big spinning saw blade disc thing.
Yeah, sick.
Abigail gets back from scouting, goes to report to her friends, and she waves one of the Shattered over to join the group because she correctly intuits that party cohesion is important to making it out of this alive, and this will double the size of their party. So the Shattered all get grouped up with the rest of them, and she shares the information that there's a bunch of ways out of here. We don't have a fucking clue which is the right one, though. Lewin raises his hand and offers to go on a scouting mission to try and find the right path. And Tam fucking roasts him. Hey, if you want to go off on your own, you should have just said that. And he's like, hey, I was a scout back home. This is literally my job.
I'm built different and built for this.
I'm literally built for this. So instead of going alone to do that, Kiral goes with him, and the buddy system for safety and all is in full effect. So we've got Lulu and Kiral going to scout it out. Kiral calls Lewin Lulu, and Lewin's like, do you have to call me that every time? And then just immediately regrets opening his fucking mouth when he sees the face that Kiral makes in response to that. He's just like, fuck, dude. I should have just not done that. He does some more fucking thinking and ultimately decides he should probably open up a little more and like let Kiral in. They want to be your best friend, bro. Fucking give them the job.
The story is true. You could be their best friend.
You have the power to be their friend.
Moonshot.
Oh, fuck, that's good. Yeah, you have the power to be their friend. All right, so Lewin looks like he's about to share this breakthrough, and then, oh, hey, Lumerets. I think that's our way out. Kiral looks at the, like, body language of that, and like him about to share that breakthrough and then changing the subject, and is like, oh, okay.
We're put a damper on the whole thing, damn.
It really does, yeah. Tam goes off to find some water. She's feeling kind of like isolated from the rest of the group. We've got Sanar and Suki. Suki's one of the Shattered, the person who I think is like the leader position, who's not Chandra. She's like the student leader or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're working on a metronome-based clock, and the click from that is driving Tam fucking bananas. She's also feeling some type of way about everyone having a purpose and a place and finding community, and her just, like, not doing that. And I'm like, emotions getting kind of weird here, aren't they? So we cut back to our gender-neutral Scouty boys, and Kiral's frustrated that Lewin did the hey, so, and then changed the topic thing. And then we cut back to Tam, and she found water, yay! Oh shit, the reflections on this are kind of weird. She's looking at herself in the water, and she's all different in it.
And she's alone.
She looks... And then she looks again at the water, and there's a man in the water, and he's dressed in white. And before we can look at that any further, Lewin calls out, "We're saved!" And the man's disappeared. So we cut to our blorbos being reunited. They get on the critical path. They're following Lewin, and Lewin's following the Lumerets. And Kiral points out, hey, does anybody else feel heavy and weird and bad? And Lewin's like, can you fucking not? We're finding our way out, and tensions get real fucking high. And then when the situation reaches its peak,
like, oh, I know what's affecting us. Oh shit.
Yeah, they realize that the Lumerets are all hiding, and we're like, why are they hiding? What do they know? And then one of the people points out, hey, aren't there people that like feed on dark emotions? They're demogoths. And here the quote here is, an awful laugh echoed through the tunnel. A pair of sickly green eyes burned in the dark. I thought I'd have longer for you to ripen. Fucking gross. The Demogoth spins up some roots and vines and captures Lewin. The party's unwilling to let him go like that. They're all fighting for their fucking lives to rescue him, and Lewin's trying to be the hero, like, no, go, save yourselves. And they're all like, we're not gonna leave without you. And who the fuck shows up to save the day but Professor Delian Fell? He fucking explodes the demon's head in a shower of vines and life and plants and stuff, and the party gets to live to fight another day. We do still have to make it out of the dark, though. And then in this moment, we learn a little bit about Professor Fell. Before the demon dies, it asks Fell if he's returned to make a deal with him, and Fell is like, obviously, bro, fuck off, and then explodes his head.
Hey, Professor Fell, do you want to be weird with me? No, I'm weird enough.
Yeah, absolutely. We learn that Professor Fell is interested in the Archaics because they have a non-linear relationship with time, and he wants to find a way to go back in time to save the woman he loved, which is shedding a little bit of light on that paragraph earlier about how he swore a bond that transcends life and death. Apparently Tam learned all of that from Jadzi. This oracle got kind of loose lips. Lewin tells Fel that what they saw the other day and with the archaics and the snarl that they're working on or whatever, and Fel is immediately interested. Is like, can you take us there? Because there have never been snarls in Titan's Grave. And then after that, we cut to Chandra and Ajani. They are walking along. They're also trying to find a way out of here. And Chandra's just like frustrated that Ajani doesn't trust her implicitly. And Ajani is frustrated that the best plan that the girl can come up with is find the big guy and kill it. And honestly, I get it. Surely you can do better than that, Chandra.
Yeah, no. Like, once again, going back to the, Chandra's been a little bit one note, but now it seems like she has to be the one note like person who's also bleeding from the nose and getting like fucking psychic brain bleeds, and also mentions that why is the reason that Chandra knows that it's Dace, and she's like, I suddenly have a very intimate knowledge.
Right. There's this scene where she's like, I know that it's Jace. I can't tell you why, because I don't need you to know how much I know about Jace and Vraska.
Particularly Vraska. Let's say that suddenly I know Vraska very intimately, and you're like,
I have Jace's memories of them fucking, and I don't want to tell you that. It's very good. So we cut there and we go to episode 5, Breaking Point. Chandra and Ajani venture deeper. We have to find the big archaic, and Chandra thinks if it's going to be anywhere, it's going to hide from the thing that hurt it, and underground makes sense. And she's like, yeah, that's what I would do if I was the archaic, even though I'm the person that hurt
that
the
is
archaic.
Doing the aggro.
Anyway,
yeah.
Not going to dwell on that. They do indeed find that, and the snarl that the blorbos are looking for. Chandra tries to be sneaky, but Jadzi fucking roasts her ass, saying this quote here. Yes, I know. There's a girl who thinks she can sneak up on us, said Jadzi. She's going to have to try a little harder, and take into account that people on faer cast very noticeable shadows.
Yeah.
You're not sweetie.
You're not slick. Come on.
Not slick in the slightest. We get the exposition dump here that the big archaic is like the last archaic and one day will be the last of Jadzi's kind, reminding us that oracles evolve into archaics. It needed to speak to Jadzi, and the importance of the message was enough to excuse the rudeness of the delivery. The future of Arcavios is getting all fucked up. Archaics, they walk a path, and that path is glitching in and out of existence. And every time that happens, the future of the plane changes. And Chandra and Ajani are feeling it on the lead up to and in the cave, because there's moments at a time where they're like not on Arcavios but somewhere else, like a different timeline, and then they glitch back, and it's just like, this is fucked.
Mm-hmm.
And here's where Jadzi roasts Chandra again, and she's like, perfect, we just need to kill the archaic here, because obviously that's Jace's plan. Your version of stopping things always involves lighting them on fire, doesn't it?
Well, when you have a hammer...
Everything looks like a nail. Get her ass. Jadzi says that killing the big archaic is treating the symptom, and we need to go further than that. We need to handle the cause. We can't just kill the archaic. There's something deeper going on here. We need to get to the bottom of that. The three of them determine that they need to work together to untangle the snarl, and so they're like, all right, cool, everybody get in position, and they all raise their hands, and Chandra fucking lied. She used the moment of trust to move into position to fucking blast the archaic. She's charging her lasers, and Ajani swoops in with the heroic intervention, smacks her hand with the axe flat so that she can't get the shot off. And then Chandra's like, killing the archaic before Jace can use it is our only choice, I'm sure. And if you're still standing in my way after all we've heard, I'll go through you if I have to. Ajani fucking makes her go through him.
PvP. PvP. PvP.
They fucking
Planeswalker versus Planeswalker. Let's fucking go. But also at the same time. Oh god, no, wait, stop.
The girls are fighting. We get to episode 6 here, 2, 3, 5, 7. And it's fight scene. It's mostly just Chandra and Ajani going back and forth. You need to let me kill it. I won't let you kill it. And all the fucking while, Ajani's proud of Chandra. He's a mentor figure to her and can't fucking help but admire how much her form has improved over the years, even as he's getting pummeled by it. He's like looking at her throwing a sick right hook, like, wow, your wrist is so straight, your form is very good, you're following through appropriately. You're fucking ouch.
You're doing great, sweetie. Oh, fuck.
We cut back to the blorbos. They can taste the air burning and they hear the sounds of battle. They know they're close and they take off in what they think is the direction of the fight. Tam points out that the tunnels are like less natural here and are more taking the path of fractals, which is interesting. They do go in a direction and it turns out to be the wrong way. The path loops in on itself. Lulu knows what's good though. He takes them off in the right direction. He can fucking smell it. He's a scout and you need to trust him. We cut back to the fight scene. Chandra and Ajani continue to throw hands. He's desperately trying not to hurt her permanently.
Ajani breaking Chandra's bones ain't really like the way, but maybe it is, you know?
He's doing his fucking best considering she is throwing pretty close to lethal force at him. Like, Chandra really doesn't want to be doing this to her friend, but the only thing she knows is she needs to kill that archaic before Jace can use it, and Ajani just won't get out of the fucking way. And Ajani's like, why are you doing this? What does being a planeswalker fucking mean to you? And she's like, because being a planeswalker means helping people. It means doing the right thing, even when it's hard.
And he says,
and Ajani hits her with
Chandra, being a planeswalker means we've already been through enough.
They've been through enough! We cut back to the blorbos. They're closing in on the fight scene, and reality is warping in a much more intense manner. They're in the tunnels, then they're in the desert, then they're in the vast ocean, and then they're back in the tunnels, and it's just like glitching in and out like that. And then they're in the room with the fight scene. Jadzi and Deli and Fel realize that they need to like calm the situation with the archaic who's fucking freaking out at this. And so they start weaving some old magic, and Tam starts looking back over her life with the blorbos and counting prime numbers to steady herself. And it's at this moment that I'm like, Tam? Is everything okay?
Yeah, hey, Tam.
Why is your life flashing before your eyes, sweetie? She fucking pushes Jadzi into the snarl. That's what.
Yeah.
And my fucking reply here is the Jerry emoji. And then she jumps into the snarl herself. And Jerry emoji.
After she's like, I'm sorry, everyone. Our moments together were precious. Whoop!
She really hits him with this was the best years of my life. I'll miss you all, and just fucking yeets herself into the snarl, and I'm like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, real like, huh? What? So hey.
And yeah, so even like all of that happens, what the fuck do we do now? Because reality is still warping out of control and we do still need to calm this archaic. Lewin realizes that the network of the spell that Jadzi was weaving is still there. They just need to finish what they started. So he relays this information to the group, and Carol's like, we're not strong enough. And this, I popped the fuck off. This is such a cool moment. Lewin hits Carol with the, who are you and what have you done with my best friend? Lewin screamed. His throat was going hoarse, but it didn't matter. Not when they had so much on the line. Come on, just try for me, Kiki. And I'm like, mutual nicknames, let's fucking go. Best friend pact sealed.
And the one thing too that kind of capstones what Lulin's mentality is of this whole thing is like, I'm a Lorwyn elf. We don't live long, but my friends deserve to live past this moment. So we gotta lock the fuck in.
It's so good. The blorbos get together and they cast the Magic the Gathering card together as one. And Kirol was right. They are absolutely not strong enough for this, but that doesn't mean they're out of options. Enter Lumerets. The little guys have magic, remember? They fucking use it. They lend their power to the blorbos, and Lulu channels it into the spell and just fucking blossoms. OMG, does he come into his own in this moment. This golden light fills the room, and the spell is like, they stabilize it, and reality is normal again.
And the day was saved by the Powerpuff. I mean, the Lumerets.
The Lumerets and the power of friendship literally saved the day. And then we cut to elsewhere, and it's Tam floating in the void. And then she's not. She's in an office in a Strixhaven. That's definitely not our Strixhaven. Knowing what I know now, being from the future, I'm like, bro, is this Hexhaven? And there's the man in white, and he's proud of Tam. She's accomplished her purpose, and now she's going to meet some new folks. Is he going to introduce her to some alternate universe blorbos? And she's like, great, I won't have to be alone anymore and carrying the weight of this by myself. And that's it. That's the end of the story.
Jace? What the fuck?
Jace Bellerin, what the actual fuck?
What the fuck, dude? Like,
what is going on here?
I was rooting for you. Now you're doing this shit? Like, bro, like, man, this meditation realm ain't shit. Fuck. Yeah. So, we get hit with white color aligned Liliana, and then Jay shows up with the new fit, and Tam very obviously being this like, oh, so Tam's green and blue, you say, and she's a Gorgon. Is there anything to do? Does Jace, do you know this girl? Looking for a missing child? Yeah, she's my child. Yeah? You made her a fucking secret plant in your fucking plan here? Fucking pushing old ladies through fucking snarls and weird reality warping shit? What the fuck is going on here? Man.
Yeah, I can't wait to find out what exactly Jace Bellerin is up to, because, man, I am... Who?
So... There's
Magic the fucking Gathering story.
As we mentioned earlier, there was the early look into what reality fracture will look like. And people are running around. Of course, there's like the big kind of running gag right now is that you have a traumatized straight white boy fucking up the multiverse. And writing bad fan fiction and everything, and that's like the thing, right? Where it's like very obviously we've had all these twists and turns of Jace's story, and I think, and hear me out, one of the issues of having Jace become a villain is like, I could see Jace becoming a villain is sort of like a long term, the hero gets worn down and eventually is like, I gotta be an anti-villain or an anti-hero and take matters into my own hands, and then the hero's got to try to stop him from doing the thing. And like, thankfully, it sounds like the Echoverse is only just like a temporary imaginary place and not like a multiversal equivalent that like is fighting for like the same space as like the base one is. But, you know, but I think if Magic Story has had handled some of the details of all this better, and part of that I'm just blaming Chris Cox and Hasbro. If we had more time to let the Magic Story breathe on certain planes, we would have felt that very much like the Phyrexians leading up to and then suddenly hitting the breach the multiverse button, then immediately getting lit the fuck up and losing. The lead up to Jace becoming all master of the multiverse, reality shaping dude. People would have found this a little more satisfying. However, I am still curious to see what the fuck they're going to come up with in terms of story beats and cards.
Oh yeah,
I am
I'm
not
absolutely
completely
gonna devour that story.
I am
when it
not
drops.
completely locked out. Obviously, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. I kind of trust where they're going with this, even if it's going to be one set, because if memory serves, we don't know what the next standard in-universe set is for after Reality Shift, and I think they've been keeping that on the down low for as long as possible until probably like the next con or something. So we'll have to see what happens next before we jump to completely crazy conclusions. And that will be happening at the end of September.
Yep.
Yeah. So, hey, thanks for giving us the rundown of what the hell's going on in Secrets of Strixhaven.
Hell yeah, dude. Thanks for coming along on that ride with me.
Yeah, I think I shouldn't promise anything. And it, again, like we had mentioned, it's still going to be a while before we get there. So we will not have Vibes Day story time with Quinn until end of September or like mid-September, I think, depending on...
Probably, yeah, because I'm not summarizing The Hobbit or Marvel superheroes.
Nope. However, maybe I'll take a shot at Vibe Space storytelling when the time comes. We'll have to see.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that being said, it's time to wrap it up. Next episode, we got Kyle coming in. Check us out on MTG Lexicon because we be doing some pre-cons and new brews there. And Empress Quinn at Girl Dick Energy and me at the Bloodrick Guy and HBVC-MTG over on Blue Sky. Spread the good word about the podcast because some people are making the rounds for us. Brennan and G3 were over at MagicCon Vegas and they met people that listen to the podcast, which was really great.
Yeah, that was extremely cool to see people tagging us in the group chat like, yo, I met Brandon because I recognized his voice from the podcast. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. The Gathering, am I right?
Yeah, The Gathering. Magic the fucking Gathering. I tweeted that the other day, and it got a bunch of likes and retweets from people who were at the convention. That was actually related to the Pro Tour.
Well, the Pro Tour was happening, too, at the same time, so...
Yeah.
The story is true. Magic the Gathering.
You have the power to be each other's friends.
It's true. All right, let's get on out of here.
Yeah, later, gamers.